Hey, what's up? How's it going? How we all doing? Back at our normal shenanigans. Getting ready for the B-Day. Yeah, it's Molly's birthday, as will be announced multiple times. What's up, Lizzie? How's it going? Whoa. Whoa. It's Jack Cup's birthday as well. That's pretty cool. What a special birthday. Um, wow, burnout. That's no good. It is, or it's not the end of the semester. Maybe it's the end of like summer semester. I know I finished my summer course, or I'm nearly finished with it. I only have like the final left. Um, so hopefully that passes soon. Damn, sorry to hear that. If you're in that guest request box, if you want to debate the topic, you got to be 18 or older. You got to believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. I'd also be fine debating a deist. If you're a deist, that's fine too. Um, those are kind of the stipulations, you know. It would be nice if you had an argument, is the other thing that I'll say. You know, if there's like some data point that you would like to discuss, you know, God exists because of XYZ convincing factor, you know, that would be preferable to the opposite. What's my favorite Fallout game? Uh, you know, everyone says that Fallout New Vegas is the best one, but I've only ever played 4. I mean, I've played a bit of New Vegas, but not enough to. It would feel like stolen valor saying that New Vegas is my favorite one. I think I have to say 4. Hey, how's it going? If you're off the app, I can't hear you.
Hey man, sorry. I don't know if it's me or if it's you that's breaking up a little bit. Oh, yeah, it was me. It was me. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Doing well, yeah. How old are you?
25.
Is there a delay? I think there might be a delay.
Yeah, I think I have a bit of delay. Hold on. Let me just close my laptop. Maybe it's cutting off my Wi-Fi or something. Can you hear me
Hmm.
now?
I can hear you. When do you hear this?
Yeah, I can hear you right on time. There's a video delay, but the audio is fine.
It's definitely not. There's like a catastrophic delay.
Okay. Okay, let me drop down and try to come back up if that's cool.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. Make sure you're tapping on that screen, sharing it with friends, and all that good stuff.
Is it better
Hey,
now?
let's see. When do you hear this?
Yeah, I'm hearing it right now.
Okay, that's basically fine. Yeah, how old are you
Okay,
and what
cool.
religion are you?
I'm 25 and I'm Christian.
Yeah, what makes you think God exists?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a few reasons, but I can just give an argument.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, so premise one is just going to be if Heidegger's postulate is true, then God exists. This is like extremely shortened version of the argument.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm gonna need clarification. What's Heidegger's postulate?
Basically, the nothing's nothing has existence, and that the only thing that we can tell or know about nothing is nothing at all. So nothingness is going to just be any set of conditions that constitutes to the existence of no thing, which is going to be what we are.
And why would that mean God is real?
Because if nothingness exists and it necessarily exists in any logically possible state of affairs in which there is an existence of a thing or lack of existence of a thing, then there would be required a higher intelligible being to explain nothingness's existence.
Wait, why? Sorry. Why couldn't the so for example, atheism is compatible with like a couple of views on this topic. I know that one move that's probably the most common is to deny that nothing is a thing, to deny that it's like a specific thing as opposed to like an
I
absence.
agree, nothing isn't a thing.
Oh, well then how does nothing do anything if it's not a thing? Like you can't predicate anything of nothing if it's not a thing.
I didn't say nothing does anything.
Okay, sure. So, okay, then maybe I need some more clarification. So, you're saying nothing exists. How could it exist if it isn't a thing?
No,
Okay, it doesn't
I
exist.
said nothingness exists.
Nothingness exists.
Nothingness exists.
Yes. Is
Yes.
nothingness a thing?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then everything that I said earlier, just cross apply that to nothingness instead of nothing. You know, the book move is to
I don't think that
deny
those are
that
the same
nothingness
thing.
is a thing.
I don't think that nothing and nothingness are the same thing. So
That's
I
fine. You
don't know
can
how
think
we would just
that.
like cross apply here.
Yeah, just take those exact
That's what I'm giving
criticisms and
an
then cross
argument
out
for.
like nothing and then put in nothingness and then it'll be the same, you know. The book move, as far as I'm aware, is to say that nothingness is not a thing, that you can't predicate anything of nothingness. But
Okay,
I think that
and
there's also views that kind of
let's
invert
just
what
be
you're
clear on what
saying.
nothingness is actually like being taken to be here. I gave nothingness to just be any set of conditions that constitutes to the existence of no thing at all.
Like are you saying like the truth maker of there being no thing at all?
The truth maker of there being no thing at all?
Yeah.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Which word are you confused about, like the truth maker or?
Well, I'm confused about what truth maker would have to do with like my posit on what nothingness is.
So I'm trying to make sense of like what you're saying nothingness is. Okay.
So are we
Would
familiar
it?
with what a like just analytically like what a set of conditions would be?
Yeah. No, I understand what a set of
Okay.
conditions are. I'm not sure what I would think that there's like a set of conditions for. Is it like a negative PSR kind of thing? Like you're saying, like there's an explanation for why something. Every time something doesn't obtain, there's like an explanation for why it doesn't obtain.
No, I'm not even referencing PSR at all.
No, but I'm saying like, is it similar to that? That for
I
every
don't think so,
time there's
no.
like a condition, maybe. Okay, here's what I'll do. I'll just type it out,
Yeah.
and we'll get like ultra linear about this.
So you want
So
the argument?
no. I want your definition of
Okay.
nothingness.
Yeah, any set of conditions that constitutes to the existence of no thing.
Any set of conditions that constitutes to the existence of no thing. Can you give me an example?
Yeah, like me and you.
So we are a set of conditions that constitutes to the existence of no thing.
Exactly.
How?
So we would have a set of conditions that constitutes to our existence. Our existence would be another separate condition that offers no further explanatory justification for why we exist or how we exist. Therefore, we are a set of conditions in tandem with the set of conditions that make us what we
Are
are
we a thing?
and our existence itself. Yes, we are a thing.
Okay,
But we
so then
constitute
it
to
wouldn't
the
be
existence of
accurate
no
to say
thing.
that you and I are sets of conditions that constitute to the existence of no thing, if indeed
How does that follow?
we're a thing. Because you're saying
Yeah,
that
we're
our
a thing, but
existence
we
is
are
the
a
set
set
of
of
conditions
conditions.
that constitutes to the existence of no thing. What's the no thing here?
Yeah, that no thing would be extrinsic to us.
Okay, what
Well,
is
no
it?
thing is not definable, so I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Then it sounds like your definition is gibberish.
I don't know how that sounds like that, but okay.
Is it like just like the negative existential quantifier when you say no thing?
Sure.
Okay, I think this phrase then, the existence of no thing, you'd be committed to saying there exists a thing that does not exist.
No, I would be saying here that there is a negation of existence of no thing.
So
Yeah,
when
I
you
think you're
say
getting turned around here.
does this no thing exist?
No, no thing does not exist.
Yes, sure. So then the existence of no thing is a contradiction.
Well, the existence here is being taken as negation. So it's negation, existence, no thing.
That's separate from saying that no thing has existence, because you're saying that no thing both exists and also does not exist.
I never made the claim that no thing exists.
Your definition, nothingness, is any set of conditions that constitutes to the existence of no thing.
Right, existence being taken here as
Okay,
negation.
so then you're
it would
just
be
directly
negation
contradicting
existence of no
yourself.
thing. That's not a contradiction.
I can like spell this out.
What is a
So,
contradiction being taken as here?
yeah, no thing has existence and no thing
Never
does
said
not
that.
have existence.
Wow, we really needed the propagation or the proposition. I never said
It's
that.
literally in your
So
definition of
no, it's
nothingness that
not.
any set of conditions that constitutes to the existence of no thing, you're affirming the
Yeah,
existence of no thing. So
yeah.
no
No
thing
thing
has
is not being
existence
taken
and no
as
thing does
no
not have
thing.
existence. It's a direct
Yeah, no thing in the
contradiction.
definition is not being taken as a conjunctive word. It's being taken as the word term thing and no being its negation. So I'm
Yep.
saying that no thing has not existence. So I'm saying that there is a negation of existence for what is considered to be no thing at all. I mean,
Okay,
that's pretty
so
like tautological. I
sure.
don't know how more simple it can get than this.
Yeah, I mean, I thought so too. I thought the contradiction is pretty straightforward.
Wait, but
But,
when did I make the claim that
nevertheless,
nothing has
it's in
existence?
your definition, the existence of no thing.
Yeah, the existence here is being taken negatively. So there's a negation
Are you
of
saying like
existence
that there's
for what
a
no
thing
thing
that does
is.
not exist?
No, I'm saying that there is no thing that exists and that any set of conditions that constitutes
There is
to
no
the
thing that
existence of no
exists. So
thing
then
at
you
all,
agree that no
existence
thing has
being taken.
existence. You just contradicted yourself again.
What? No, you're confusing what nothing here and no thing is being taken as.
You just said
I'm not
it.
saying that nothing has existence, nor am I saying that no
Oh
thing has
boy.
existence. There is a lack of existence for nothing, which would
Okay.
just be to say no thing at all. It's
Listen,
tautological
but
here.
I mean, if you're just going to keep on contradicting yourself, I'm probably going to move on.
Wait, what's the contradiction?
Yeah, that you keep on
Still
affirming
haven't
and
said it.
denying that no thing has existence. Like it's happened
Never
like
said
2 or
that no
3
thing has
times.
existence.
You
You're
just
just
said
saying
it.
that.
You literally
Yo,
just
this
said
guy
it.
is lying his ass
So
off.
when I
I'm
asked
getting
you
metaphysically fisted
clarification,
right now. Can you just like address what I'm saying?
I'm sorry that you contradicted yourself and now all that
I
you have is
didn't.
rhetoric. You did.
Where's
It's
the
all on recording.
proposition?
Wait, do you want me to
Where's
play
the
back the
proposition?
recording? I can play it back for you.
Where's the
I can play
proposition
you
where I
saying,
said that no
yeah,
thing has
no thing
existence?
exists or like has
Yeah, let's hear that.
existence.
Sure, let's hear it. Any set of conditions that constitutes
There is
to
no
the
thing that
existence of
exists.
no
So
thing
then
at
you
all,
agree that no
existence
thing has
being taken.
existed. Let's hear that one more time. Exist?
Well, couldn't really hear it when you're
No,
talking
I'm saying
over me. It's pretty crazy. That there is no thing that exists and that any set of
that there is no thing that exists.
Yeah, that's not saying that nothing exists. It's saying that there is no
That there
thing
is
that
no thing
exists.
that exists.
Yeah, existence is being taken as a
Okay.
negation here. You're not tracking.
So to be clear, does
Yo, you
no
fucking
thing
suck.
have
Stop
existence?
doing this,
Or
bro.
whoa, just calm
Nobody
down. And I
nobody
would be
made a
crashing out
contradiction,
too.
buddy.
I'd be crashing out too if I
That's
had
not a
crashed or if I
contradiction.
contradicted
Existence
myself
is being
on
taken
recording.
negatively.
But there it
That's
is.
not a contradiction.
You
I'm
know,
recording as well. Existence is being taken
all right,
negatively
bud.
here. It's not.
Thanks for playing. It's all in recording. You just like directly affirming the existence and denying the existence of no thing. All right, make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, doing all that good stuff. If you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. You can also be a deist. That's fine too. With that, we'll go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, so basically,
sorry, how old are you?
I am born in 2007. I am 19. I am born on.
Yo, you sound like super young. Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't think I would actually get accepted.
That's okay. Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 22.
And what religion?
Christian.
Yep. And what makes you think God exists?
To be honest, man, I'm kind of shocked that I actually got accepted up here because I've been watching you for the past couple of days and I'm starting to kind of like not relapse off the idea of Christianity, but kind of take a step back and that he actually does exist. A lot of my views and, I guess, beliefs in the, Christian faith came from my parents. I was born into it.
Mhm.
But now that I'm, obviously a grown working adult, it's kind of all setting in that, maybe, maybe evolution is a thing. And, everything that I've been reading in the Bible and everything is not really true. I just want to know your thoughts on like why he isn't real, because I have some of mine, but
I think that there's quite a few problems. I guess I think that God is just kind of a bad explanation for things. That it just doesn't look like the world around us is explained by a God because, God is all powerful, he's all good, he's all knowing. So we would expect we would expect that however the world is designed, that it would be designed perfectly. We would expect for there to be nothing that's like suboptimal, but there's like just so many things that are suboptimal. Things like diseases, things like earthquakes, cancers. Um, it's just very surprising that God would design laws of nature that give rise to horrific suffering.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you too, especially just seeing like what's going on in the world right now, and what's kind of been escalating over the past like 20 years. There's been more developments and, like you said, diseases, um, you know, environmental factors. I mean, the world's just shutting down completely, and it feels like there's not really a God to save us from that. You know what I mean?
Hmm? Yeah, I think I agree with that. Although, I think it's like easy to be like kind of doomeristic about it that the world is getting worse. Although I think everyone throughout all of human history, at every single point in human history, thought the world was getting worse. So I'm skeptical.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
But anyway,
I don't know. It's just
sorry to
really
take up your time. I know I,
surprising. That's okay.
no, I know. But thank you for having me up, and thank you for, sharing that with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, thanks so much for coming on up and thanks for sharing your story with me. I appreciate you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Yeah, I appreciate that person. That person's pretty cool. Hey, if you want to debate the topic, if you're in that guest request box, make sure that you're 18 or older. Make sure that you believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, or like a deist. A deist is fine too. And with that, we'll go to the very next guest. Hey, how's it going?
Hi. It's going
How old
good.
are you?
18,
What year were you born?
2008.
What's one major theme in To Kill a Mockingbird?
I haven't watched that.
Maybe you will after you read the book next year. Maybe your teacher will show it to you. Listen, you got to be 18 or older. If you're not 18 or older, don't request to join. There's like some person talking shit in chat. I wonder if this person wants to come on up. Jaleel, come on up. Anyway, hey, if you're, I currently have nobody requesting to join. So if you think that God is real, it could be you. You could be the one who gets to come on up. If you, I don't know. You got to be 18 or older. You got to believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. You could also be a deist. That's fine too. But those are like the minimal requirements. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to start yapping. I mean, I guess here's what we could do. We could read some supers. Ruth Connor, thank you so much for the GOAT trophy. I appreciate it. Let's get a big, big W for Ruth Connor. Pooh Bear Thought, thank you so much for the super chat. Celebrate Molly now. That's a great suggestion. We'll do it multiple times. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Molly. Happy birthday to you. Let's get a big happy birthday for Molly in that comment section. I still have nobody requesting to join, even though I did the birthday song, which is too unfortunate. At this rate, I'll have to yap about something. Maybe I'll yap about omnipotence. I'm reading a bit about omnipotence. Thank fuck. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
You gotta be kidding. How old are you?
I am 18.
You gotta be fucking kidding. Why am I getting like... Hey, how's it going?
I'm sorry, Ian. I didn't mean to join. I was liking. Sorry.
You should be sorry. How dare you? Hey, how's it going?
Hello. Hi.
Yep, how old are you?
I am 21 in August.
Yep. What religion?
Atheist.
Okay.
Agnostic.
What are you here for?
I'm here to ask some questions about what your topic is.
Sure, go for it.
So what is the topic of what your life is? Are you trying to explain that God isn't real, or
Yeah, we're just like
Well,
debating about the existence of God, basically.
so here's my opinion. So pretty much you all know
Wait,
about the
one sec.
Bible.
Actually, could you
Yeah.
hold for just a second?
Yeah.
Hey, Knights, how old are you? Oop, Knights, how old are you?
36,
And what religion are you?
Christian.
Ah, perfect. Okay, yeah. What makes you think God exists?
So, I'm going to try to go by scientific terms here.
Go for it.
Okay, so I was in the chat, and Ian, I do respect you and all the other sort of things, but dude, uh science is out there, yes, but I believe that you can prove God through science.
Yeah, what would be the scientific proof of God?
Okay. So we do have all souls
Does science
in
say
our
that?
body.
Is that science?
Uh,
Does science say that?
No, but I'm getting there.
Okay, sure. So we've started off with a non-scientific claim. Yeah, sure.
Okay, so when a star goes supernova or hypernova, it creates a magnetar, black hole, whatever. Okay, so anyway, that is a second stage of the star. And that is, now I'm thinking subconsciously
Mhm.
about this.
But why would
Okay.
well, that's kind of strange, right? I'm not sure why that would mean that God exists.
Well, it's the second stage of the star. When a star goes hypernova, supernova, or what have you, that's the second life for the star. So that means it's the soul of the star.
Not
Now,
granted.
take it what you will with that, okay? But I also have another claim
I don't think that
that,
it could be like the second life of the star because I don't think stars are alive. Maybe it's like the second phase of it. This doesn't feel very compelling.
well, yeah, to each their own. But I have all sorts of, claims God exists, okay?
What's the next one?
Um, uh, through substances as in psychedelics.
Oh,
No atheist
wait, don't talk.
has,
You can't talk about those on stream. All right. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen. Hey, maybe you're looking at this. You're looking at that debate topic, and you're like, God does exist. Well, if you want to debate the topic, you got to be 18 or older. You got to believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran. Oh, let's see. Hey, how's it going?
What's up, bro? Good.
You
I'm
sound like you're
19.
talking through like a Mr. Microphone. You probably hit the Bluetooth button or something.
Is this better?
Much better, thank you. Oh,
Okay,
wait, actually, it might be, let's see. Testing. Actually, yeah, it's totally fine, yeah.
Okay. I was just curious. How would you respond to somebody saying that time would be like part of God's properties? So it would kind of take away the problem of creating without time.
What the fuck does that mean to say that it's a part of God's properties?
Yeah, I don't really know. I wouldn't go to say that myself, but I've heard it. I guess you could just posit that like, it's within God. It's part of God.
Yeah, this seems to imply that there are parts of God that are beholden to laws of physics.
Okay.
So I don't think that the theist wants to say that.
Yeah, I see how that could be a real problem. Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't really have much more than that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
All right. Hey, thanks so much for coming on up. Appreciate you. If you're in that guest request box, got to be 18 or older, got to believe in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or Quran. You could be a deist too. I'm fine talking to a deist. Currently have nobody requesting to join, so if you want to debate. Oh no. Hey, how's it going? Help me.
I'm sorry, I didn't request. I'm sorry, my bad.
That's okay. Well, I currently have nobody requesting to join, so if you want to debate the topic, if you're 18 or older, if you think that God is real, you're more than welcome to request to join. I can read some supers while we wait. Pecho, thank you so much for the super chat. This was from yesterday. Thanks so much for the $20 super chat. The Amalekites didn't exist because there's no evidence, but the Exodus did exist in spite of no evidence, and I love slavery more than anything. What a fucking journey we've been on. Yeah, no, for real. That last guest yesterday was like, I don't know, man. Just like blatant double standards. What are you gonna do? Cry, complain, whine. Me too. Me too. Let's see if this next one's going to come on up. Oh. Yeah, hey. What's up? How old are you and what religion are you?
I am 23 years old and I am a Christian.
Yep. Yeah, what makes you think God exists?
Well, I feel like I have more evidence that he does versus doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
And I know that that's not going to be empirical enough for you, but
wait,
I don't know.
Is this fuck. What's your name? What was your name?
I got death threats. I had to create a new TikTok because of your people that follow you.
Oh no. You're
kind of shameful, right?
I mean, I certainly disavow that. You know, I don't think you deserve death threats.
Yeah, you were okay though with me getting harassed.
I think I just said the opposite of that.
No. You said death threats are not good, but you said that everything else is okay.
I think that there's like some forms of bullying that are like permissible. I don't think death threats are permissible. I think that it's like very circumstantial, the situations that I think it's fine to be like to DM someone and be like, hey, you're dumb. But no, I disavow death threats. I don't think those are okay.
Okay, well, if you want empirical evidence of everything I experience with your community, I can share that with you.
Empirical evidence of everything that you experienced with the community?
Yeah, in terms of what I've been receiving, but that's okay. We don't have to talk
like
about
a personal experience. Do you have like some sort of evidence?
I do. I have screenshots, and I have probably had to have at least 15 people at least blocked. I don't think it's fair
about like the harassment.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to,
okay,
I mean, if you DM me, like, you can like DM me the names of people who have sent you death threats. Like, DM me like the names and the screenshots, and then I'll block those people. You know, I don't want them in my community.
Well, besides death threats, just the total harassment. I mean,
Well, yeah,
I'm
we
trying
could
to
go.
figure
We could go through. We could do. We could do.
out. Do,
We,
do,
we
do you
could do a
want me to
court
be threatened
case.
and harassed?
No, I don't want you to be threatened, and it depends on your definition of harassment.
Okay, so we have to even start there from in terms of harassment because
If you
I
say
have a
something
different.
dumb on a public live and someone says you're dumb but doesn't go too far with it, I
Okay,
don't
well,
care.
Ian, guess what? Let me ask this question, okay? Because I say I believe in God, does that make me a cocksucking faggot?
No, I don't think so. And if you wanna
Okay, that's
DM me
harassment, though,
who,
right?
yeah, what was the person's username? I'll block them if you send
Uh,
me a
I
screenshot.
can't look at it right now, but I'll tell you in a little bit. I'll
Wait,
DM you
sir,
that.
before you say like another slur, I mean, do you have like the screenshots? Because if you have, if you just want to DM me the screenshots, do you have like a Discord?
I'll DM you. Sorry, I was getting blocked.
You're getting
Was
blocked?
yeah.
By who?
I just got a message that I had a 10-minute timeout. I have no idea, but I guess I'm still here, so that's fine. It's okay. Listen, I'll send it to you. It's no big deal. I'm not making it up, but that's okay. Like all I said was God exists. I was pretty respectful last time we talked. I had to I'm getting harassed. Is that cool with you?
Depends what you mean by harassed. No, I'm not okay with what you just read. I think that's way over the line.
Okay, Ian. Well, that's fine. I mean, I guess
Some people think that if you say like really dumb things on a TikTok live and then somebody DMs you and calls you dumb, like some people would say that that's harassment.
do
I don't
you
really
think
care
that
about that, but I do
do
care
you
about the thing that you just read. I think that's really bad.
do you think that anything that I've said to you, and we've spoken a few times now, do you think anything that I've said to you has been disrespectful to you?
Yeah, like the perpetual like straw manning of me like over and over and over again, like almost like the habitual like misrepresentation of my position. Yeah, I think that's been like pretty disrespectful.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that's obviously up for interpretation. I'm just trying to understand it. But anyways, that's not even what we're talking about today, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I just know I've talked to you a few times. Let's not talk about cancer,
Mhm.
okay?
We'll put cancer
And let's
aside.
not. Yep. And if you want to, you can pull up all of whatever you want in terms of your notes. All I want to know is that are you all knowing?
No, I'm not all knowing.
Okay, so I'm not all knowing.
Hmm.
So why does that not make us similar?
We are similar. We share that property. You
Okay.
you and I both have the not all knowing property.
That's fine. I agree with that 100%. And we're made of blood, bones, mostly water. I just am trying to figure out why is it. I got a violation warning. Sorry.
That's okay. It's good
I
you
got a
said the
violation
slur. You
for
shouldn't
hate.
say slurs.
Well, it was
Even
put
as like a
onto
quote, like
me.
TikTok won't know that it's a quote. I mean, and then I think like it's arguable whether you should say it as a quote. That's kind of like a
Well,
separate like probably.
I,
I think I'd be
I
hesitant to say it even as a quote, but
well, and I'm sorry. I don't want to disrespect anybody. I'm just saying that I'm taking a lot of heat for just having the conversation that you and I both don't have absolute understanding of things, but for some reason that triggers a lot of people.
for
For
some
me to get hate.
reason, I don't think that what they're triggered about is the notion that we don't know everything. I think they might be. I think that the thing that might be getting you like viciously mean DMs might be like kind of like your disposition where gosh I'm trying to word this in a way that doesn't just sound like a vicious ad hom.
It's okay. I'm in therapy.
You
I want the feedback.
you kind of debate in a way that's like cowardly. I think misrepresenting your opponent is like very coward. It's just like a very cowardly thing to do, and you do it like very perpetually. Like, if I could give you like some candid feedback, the way that you debate is by like misrepresenting your opponent with like high frequency. I have never ever told you that what I want in terms of the God debate is like empirical evidence. I've never told you that. I've never told anyone that. For as long as I've been doing this, which is like 2 years now, I've never told a single person that. It's never happened. But the fact that, in fact, like I've clarified that exact point to you, like maybe like 10 times, and you came into this conversation and said, you know, the evidence probably won't be empirical enough for you, even though I've like clarified to you that this is like explicitly not what I'm looking for, you know? It's either you're not listening or you don't care. Like that's the only conclusion that I could come to.
No, I'm listening. I do believe I care. From one human to another. I mean, obviously, we're having a conversation. I'll take your critiques and try to figure it out. You know, just unfortunately, I took a lot of heat. But at the same time, that's no problem, right? Because I'm sure you take a lot of heat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't read DMs. I don't know. I don't think that. I typically don't think that people in my DMs. I don't know. Like, there are some useful things in the DMs. Like, that's how I got invited to Jubilee. But it's probably not a good way to reach me. If you want to reach me, you should go into the Discord and then say something. And then if it's important enough, my mods will forward it to me.
I gotcha. No problem at all.
And
Anyways,
honestly, if you joined the Discord and shared those screenshots, we could get those people blocked if they're like egregious enough. Like I would block the person who DM'd you the F slur. I would block anybody who like sent you death threats. I think that all of that stuff is bad.
well, it's okay. Honestly, I think one of the things is it's just kind of what humanity is about, unfortunately, and that's okay. I just wanted to know what I said that would warrant kind of some of those attacks. At the same time, it doesn't really matter to me. I just had to make a pivot. But again, I respect you because you are without a doubt somebody that shows up every day and wants to have a conversation. So I know that I'm trying to take a little bit of advice and understanding of how I come across. Maybe that'll be kind of up for conversation. All I'll say is this. You and I both don't have definitive evidence of anything. At the same time,
I don't know if
and
that's
you're not
true.
asking for it. You're just wanting to say that God isn't real. And I'm trying to say God is real.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you and I both are going off of a different script. I'm trying. Does that make sense?
Kind of, although I understand what you're saying. Like I comprehend the words, but I don't agree with them. So I think this is like a good paradigm example that this conversation started out, or at least like when you were asking me a question about the topic, you were like, "You're not all knowing," and I'm like, "Yep, I'm not all knowing." You and I have that in common. We're not all knowing. And then you've inferred from the notion that I'm saying that I'm not all knowing that I don't have definitive evidence for anything. You can have definitive evidence for some things, but not be all knowing. The inference just doesn't follow.
No, it does because a mirror is a mirror. You can look into it and see yourself in the back thing. So when I look at you, I see myself because I'm not all knowing. So I don't understand why you're like trying to diffuse my argument that I'm on the other end of the spectrum as well. So it's like you just want to focus on what I'm saying when I'm putting us both in the same bucket. It doesn't make sense to me why we both understand and can admit, because I self-admitted that I don't know everything, right?
So I'm not trying to like trap you here. I'm bringing up the notepad not to like beat you over the head with it, but just to like, I don't know, like type out like step by step what just happened. So, okay. I'm not all knowing.
Can you replace it with we're?
Yeah.
We're not all knowing.
We're not all knowing, but and then that was step one. You know, I agree with one. That's obviously true. It's like trivial even. We're not all knowing. Premise two, you then infer if we're not all knowing, then we don't have definitive evidence for anything. That just doesn't follow because you can have definitive evidence for some things, and then just not know other things. So, for example, I have definitive evidence that I exist. I know this based on my experience. I have like strong evidence for thinking that Ian is one of the things that exists. But I'm not all knowing. I think you can know some things, but not others.
Could I add to number? Can I maybe suggest a number 3?
Yeah. What's number 3? Is it gonna?
Well, no, it's not gonna. We exist. However, what do we understand?
You know, there's a reason why I'm not going to add that, and it's because it's not a premise; it's a question.
Okay, so
But yeah, like we can talk
exist, but
about
we
that.
do- Well, it actually kind of goes back to number 1. It's redundant. So keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Like you would agree that the number 2 just doesn't follow, right? Like the then part in number 2 doesn't follow from the first part. Like it doesn't follow from the fact that we're not all knowing, that therefore we know nothing. We could know some things.
No, well, no. You said we don't. You said we don't have definitive evidence for anything, and we do.
Mhm.
And it's only because we have our senses. However, we also are starting to understand different dimensions. Can you agree with that?
I don't even think that I'd agree with that. I don't think that the only way that we arrive at knowledge is through senses. I think senses are one of the ways that we arrive at knowledge. I don't think that they're the only way.
Well,
Like, for example, if the only way that we arrived at knowledge was through sense data, well, you know, you can't verify with your sense data that the only way to arrive at knowledge is through sense data. So that can't be the only source of knowledge. There needs to be other ones.
well, you're saying then that every single development in human like existence was not sourced from our senses.
Yeah, well, depends how broad you're being with senses, but no, there are some things that you'd probably want to say aren't senses, properly speaking. Like, for example, Rene Descartes' cogito argument. So Rene Descartes was he was like a philosopher that lived in the 1600s. He also
I know
did
who Descartes is.
math stuff. Yeah. So, you know, he was reflecting on the nature of certainty and what things we can be certain about. And he put forward a very powerful argument for the time that demonstrated his own existence, that we should start from a place of doubting everything. But by doubting everything, we're having like a cognitive state. If you doubt everything, then there must exist a cognitive state. And if there's a cognitive state, then there must be like a cognizer, somebody that has that cognitive state that also exists. So therefore you exist. I think that that's like an advancement that doesn't deal with like sense data.
Does mathematics exist even if you don't see it, touch it, taste it, feel it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're. How do we stumble upon mathematics?
Because we can abstract certain features of the world, like certain structural features of the world, like quantities. You know, you're able to separate quantities of objects. Your brain evolved to have that capability among others. And
how do we reach that then?
Evolution?
No, you're saying we were able to actually deconstruct and understand mathematics through our senses.
No, I'm not sure I said that.
Well, how did mathematics come about then? If you can't taste, touch, feel it.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but you're doing the exact thing that I told you earlier, that you're misrepresenting my position again as saying that I think all knowledge comes from sense data. Like this is like exactly like the problem that most people are going to take with you, is that you like perpetually misrepresent your opponent.
No, I'm not. I'm not misrepresenting. I'm actually just asking the question so that I can clarify. So I appreciate you. I'm just trying to understand, because you said that our senses don't necessarily absolve everything that we see in the world? Is that am I
I
misunderstanding?
think that there is knowledge that doesn't come from sense data.
Where does it come from then?
A variety of places. Like, for example, rational reflection can lead you to knowledge. In fact, you could probably I think that you could probably rediscover all of mathematics purely a priori, just like in your head on the armchair. You know, you could think one thought, two thoughts, and then you have quantities. And
Yeah,
then
but
from
how
quantities, you
did you
can start
even
doing
get
math
how did you even get to that point to be able to have that knowledge?
by developing by the knowledge of quantities of like
Yes.
one thing, two things.
Yes.
Well, our brain has the ability to represent things. You know, our brain has the ability to think. So, you know, your
Yeah,
mind
but
has this ability to think, and you're
if you
able
were if
to process things like, well, we have one thing, we have two things. You know, I
if you
can
were
picture.
born if you
Hmm?
were born with just a brain, no hands, no eyes, no ears, couldn't smell, couldn't taste, couldn't touch, then how does the brain operate?
It's a good question. I have no idea. I mean, I'm not sure what a brain would be like if there was no input data into it. I'm not sure what it would do.
Okay, well, that's all I'm saying. That's my argument. At the same time, I'm trying to be respectful
But what does that
because
argument like connect to? I'm not sure what your
because
point is.
because you're saying there's some innate understanding of certain things
I'm not
that are
sure I
not
said that.
okay. That's fine. Again, I'm not trying to misrepresent. I just feel like you're pushing back and arguing with me that I'm trying to fight against just the understanding of our senses that allow us to be able to take in data. And for some reason, you're arguing with me about that.
Well, it's
It's
not my
kind of weird.
position. My position isn't that all knowledge comes from sense data. That's not your position either.
No, you can't have one without the other, though, is all I'm saying.
One of what without the other one of what? You can't
You
have
can't
knowledge
have
without
the
sense
data.
data?
You can't have the knowledge that we have without senses, right?
I don't know if that's true.
Why?
I don't know. There are some things, there's like forms of knowledge that I can reflect on without any sort of sensory input. I also think that you'd be inclined to hold the standard that I'm holding. Otherwise, we just trivially don't know that God exists because we don't have any sensory experience with God. So that's why the standard is suboptimal for you. But I'm also inclined to not think that it's true.
Okay, well, if you can't come to the fact that human beings have evolved to the point where our sensories have literally caused us to understand how things work,
Do you
then
think that that's
what are
what I
we
said?
talking about?
You think that's like an accurate
You-
summary
you-
of my position, that sense data isn't important in understanding how some things
Ian,
work?
Okay, Ian, I'm going to leave you alone, but just give
Do
me
you
your synopsis.
do you think that that's like
Give
an
me-
accurate understanding?
You're saying that you don't understand.
What did I say I don't understand? Remind me.
You said that you don't understand how the brain works without the sensory.
I'm not sure that's not what I said. What I said is that I don't know what a brain that was disconnected from all senses would experience. Well, although
Okay.
maybe I could spin up something. We could say, you know, the brain could feel fear and the brain could feel, you know, calm. It could feel like a calm state and it could feel an upset state, and it could qualitatively determine the difference between these two states. And from this notion, it could develop the categories of numbers.
What would be the stimulus that would make it feel calm or not calm?
Sometimes your brain can produce calm responses or uncalm responses within itself. Or, you know, for example, maybe like the oxygen that's coming into your brain. You know, your brain has like automatic mechanisms to make you
No, it's
either
just the brain.
panic or calm.
It's just the brain. So,
well, the brain wouldn't be
if I
alive if there
poke
wasn't
it- if I
oxygen going
poke
to
it,
it.
if I poke it, or if I shock it, what is that?
Is there oxygen in the brain? Are we stipulating that there's
Well, you
oxygen in the
can't have one
brain?
without the other, but you've brought us here to this point in this
You
conversation.
literally, okay, you're doing like the thing where you misrepresent your opponent again, by the way. I didn't bring us
How am
here.
I doing that?
You brought us to
You
the
are
stage
fighting
where you
for
were asking me
understanding.
about like a brain that didn't have any sensory data. Like you literally did that.
Yeah, well, you're arguing against me, so we all understand that it's kind of stupid, right? We shouldn't even be having this conversation, but for some reason you want to argue with me about what if the brain was outside of the body and it just was by itself, but you're
That's what
arguing
you asked me
against
about.
me. No, you're arguing against me, so apparently you have a something that you want to say. So unload your chest. Tell us what we're talking about.
Well, I don't have like anything additional to add, but I can repeat my point, which is that, I think that there's forms of knowledge that don't just come from like direct sensory experience of it, that, there's like forms of knowledge that are going to be things that we determine or conclusions that we can arrive at just by like reflecting on the nature of things.
Oh, hey, maybe we call that God. How about that? Maybe that's kind of cool, right?
That seems like it would just be redefining the
Well,
term. Otherwise, you'd have to say that like God
how is it
reduces
redefining the
to
term?
physical stuff, or that God is like mind dependent.
How is it redefining the term?
Typically, God is taken to be an entity external of human minds, but you'd be
You
saying
don't
that he's
you don't
purely
have an
internal.
understanding of anything outside of that, though, right?
I think that we have understandings of things outside of it. Like I think we understand like rocks and things. We
Okay,
understand
so we understand
electrons.
rocks and we understand thoughts, but we don't understand where it came from.
Oh, did I say that, or did you do the misrepresenting thing again?
No, you can say that. That's fine. It's kind of almost like
Well, listen,
maybe
the reason
like the
people are
you're
mean
gonna
to you is
interrupt me?
because you do
You want to interrupt me?
this. I thought that you were like genuinely interested in learning why people are mean to you, and I'm just trying to help you understand that it's like
Ian, I
kind of
don't really care
recurring.
if people are mean to me.
Oh, then
I
don't
can
complain
actually
about
just
it.
want to have okay, well, first off, I'm not complaining about it. I just want you to know that what I see and experience is probably some of the same things you experience. And I started off this argument with the understanding that I know that you probably have a hard time doing what you're doing. And I see it as well. At the same time, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm trying to respect you, but you keep telling me that I am actually misrepresenting you when all I'm doing is repeating everything that you've said.
No, if that was what was going on, like if I was saying things and then you were saying word for word back to me what I had just said, and then I was getting mad at you about that, I think that you'd have a point then. That's just not what's
Okay,
happening.
Ian, a brain that exists outside of the body with no touch, taste, feel, smell, and the ability to hear, what happens to the brain?
Does it have thoughts?
You tell me. I'm asking the question.
Well, that's what I'm at. Are we like stipulating that this brain has thoughts? Because if the brain isn't having thoughts, like if there's no electrical activity going on there that's connecting neurons, then I'd probably say that there is no experience being had there. But if the brain
It's
is having
just a brain.
thoughts, then well, some
It's just a brain.
brains have thoughts, some brains don't. The brains that don't don't
So
experience
so
things.
so brain that was just unattached to anything, never has been ever experienced anything. What is the brain gonna do?
Oh, I don't think that the brain that is totally disconnected from everything else is going to have an experience. I think it only has an experience if there's like brain signals.
So I say that the brain needs the senses to experience life. Do you agree or disagree?
To experience life, yeah, you need the senses to experience some external things. I agree with that. I just think that there are like internal things that don't require like sensory experience.
Okay, so what are those internal things?
So for example, let's say that in your brain there's like a release of I don't know, serotonin. You'll feel happy, then let's say that there's a release of cortisol. You'll feel upset. This like feeling, that to me is something that happens like internal to the mind.
Well, I guess that means internal, as you respected. That's fine. No big deal. So I'm just trying to make sure I understand. The brain is the brain of every single person. And for the people that believe in God, our brains are damaged.
What the fuck? I never said that. I didn't
I
say
know you
anything
didn't. I'm
even
just trying to bait you, bud.
approximately. That's not my position. It's like a total
I know.
straw man.
No, I'm actually messing with you because
Okay.
at this point, this
It's
conversation has went.
indecipherable from what you actually do, by the way.
Are you for real?
Yes.
Okay. So you wanted to tell me that the brain had. Listen, listen. I will take the exit ramp and say, okay, enough's enough. I do enjoy talking to you. I feel like I'm challenging you a little bit. If I'm not, if you feel so strong, if I'm not a worthy opponent, tell me never to come back.
If I wasn't or if you weren't challenging me, would you want me to tell you?
Yeah,
Like, would you want to know that?
I do.
You don't challenge me.
Okay. Am I not a worthy opponent to at least have a conversation?
I don't know what worthy opponent. I don't know what that means.
Of course you don't, right?
Don't put me in a position to be like the source of your self-esteem. Don't do that.
I don't listen. I don't need self-esteem, and I definitely do not need your affirmation. Okay. I think honestly, at that point, we're now talking about your ego, not mine. I'm just a little guy that gets death threats, and I'm just trying to talk to you about some things. And I think this was actually a really good conversation. If it's
Okay.
not, that's okay. You tell me. I'll never come back.
I enjoy talking to you, but it's not like an intellectual challenge. More than anything, it's a rhetorical challenge. I like practicing rhetoric with you because you are persistently bad faith.
How am I bad faith when you've never shown me anything to listen?
Because I have shown you things. You were reaching for that line, but then you remembered that I actually have shown you things, and that I will again if you say it.
My starting point is the exact same point as you. Okay? How is that bad faith? I actually try to say, I will go ahead if you can show me evidence that God doesn't exist. And you can't do that at the same time, then you put the burden on me.
But I do show you.
Explain to me how I'm in
I do show you
bad
evidence. I can show you the evidence for a third time. Every time I show you the evidence, you complain about it.
Please do for the chat. I'd love to see that.
You don't need to see it.
Why would you? I need to see it.
Okay.
And here we go.
Yep. It's the same argument as last time.
Oh,
you know,
you should just copy and paste.
if time begins to exist,
oh gosh,
then a timeless state changes into a temporal state.
Are you doing?
If something changes,
writing this off of a paper, or can you just do copy paste?
No, I'm typing it out in real time. It's memorized.
It's memorized.
If something changes, then it's in time. A timeless state is not in time. Therefore, time does not begin to exist. And then, as a further one, if time does not begin to exist, then God did not create it. If God did not create time,
how do you get
then
to
God
that
does not
conclusion?
exist. Therefore, God does not exist.
So can you add, let's see here, it's C2. Can you add a C3?
Why?
Because.
That would make the argument invalid.
No, it wouldn't.
Yes, it would.
Well, then I'll just say Ian understands time.
Ian understands time?
Yeah, you understand time.
Yeah, I understand like certain aspects of time.
No. Apparently everything you understand.
I don't understand everything about time. What I do understand is that things that change are in time.
Well, okay.
Like you'll notice, like,
no, it's good.
The argument would be like way shorter, you know. If my argument, if I believed, you know, Ian understands everything about time. If Ian understands everything about time,
No, no, you don't have to
then
do number
he
two. Just number
knows
one. Number
that
one's great.
God
Number
didn't
one's
create
great.
it.
No,
And
Ian,
then if
number one's
God didn't
great.
create time, then God doesn't exist. Therefore, God doesn't exist. Like, I don't know. I mean, there's just like a much if I truly believed that Ian understands everything about time, then we would have just arrived at the conclusion that God doesn't exist way quicker. You know, instead I have to go the roundabout route through like 5 premises. Are you gone?
Sorry, I got Bluetooth. All right, sorry. Can you say it one more time?
Yeah. Just that if what you were saying is correct with respect to like if it's true that I think I understand everything about time, well then I would just make arguments about how I know everything about time, so I know God didn't create it, so therefore God doesn't exist. But that's I don't think I know everything about time. The only thing that I think I know about time is that if something changes, then it's in time. That's kind of the only presupposition here.
Okay, Ian. So here's the deal. We'll just put it in the real world, and I'm going to leave you alone. That I really, honestly do enjoy this, by the way, and I'm not upset about anything. I hope you're not, and I hope I haven't offended
No,
you.
I'm never upset.
Yeah, it's not true. You can get
Oh.
upset.
Well, not by you. You're
Well,
not one of
that's
the
fine.
you're not one of the people that upset me.
Okay, well then that's good. I didn't want to. That's means that we're on the same page. You and I are both street corner preachers. Okay, I am talking about how I believe God exists, and you are talking about how God doesn't exist. Okay, so I asked the question: how would that go around? Like, how would that go about? Like, do you feel like, because you're a street corner preacher, you're just saying you're denying God, right? Because you are putting effort in and actually making sure people know of your stance, right? You're an evangelist.
In a
God
sense,
doesn't
yeah. You know, I
exist.
certainly debate about, and I certainly defend the position if that's all you mean by evangelist.
Okay, well then,
You know, I think
there
that
was no
there's
need for that. A simple yes is a yes.
because some
but
people load that as meaning like a religious thing. I'm not sure that what I'm doing here is like a religious thing. I don't think atheism is a religion. Maybe
You're
there's
on
like
the
some
internet
definition
street
where it would be
cor-
appropriate to classify it that way, but
You're on the internet street corner right now, wanting to have a debate, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm not having a debate. I actually just answered the call that you brought me in on, right? Okay, so anyways, all that being said, listen, I respect you. I think that you are a very smart guy. I know that you're going to say I'm disingenuous, and you've called me that. Like, it's almost like that's your straw man, by the way. I'm not trying to be mean to you. All I'm trying to say is you don't know everything, and I'm saying that I don't know everything, but for some reason, that's an argumentative point with you. How can I even have a debate with somebody that can't even understand that we're both at the same concept?
Do you think that some people know more things than other people?
It depends on what aspect we're talking about.
Just like, do some people know some things that other people don't?
So what you're inferring
Like, does
is
the teacher know more than like the second grader that they teach?
What you're inferring is you know more than me.
What I'm saying is that it doesn't follow from the fact that two people are not all knowing that they are therefore at the same level of knowledge. That one
No.
person can still have more knowledge than the other person,
Ian,
especially
you
about a
just
specific
got-
topic,
You
even though
just
both
got-
people are not all knowing.
Ian, listen, you just got done making an example. Now, I hate to make an example out of you because you said the second grade teacher, are they the same as the student?
Does the second grade teacher know more than the second grade student?
Yes, but you're inferring that you're the second grade teacher and that I am the student.
I think that if you had some evidence that God exists, then maybe I would come away with a different impression. But as things stand right now, our conversations, we've had like a lot of them, maybe like 4 of them at this point, much to much to Molly's chagrin, you know,
Ian,
I've
just
never
say
come away
that
with the
you
impression that you have good evidence for thinking that God exists. It seems like what you want to come in and say is, well, you don't know everything, and because you don't know everything, you know, that means that God exists or that God could exist or something like that.
no, now hold up. I had to hold you accountable to your own rules, okay? Now you are going ahead and putting words into my mouth. I didn't say that. I never said that. All I'm saying is, so would you like to apologize for putting words into my mouth? Because I never said that. I said I
That's the more
cannot.
charitable interpretation. There's a
I
less
s-
charitable interpretation where
well, I'll tell
actually
you.
you're
I'll
not
tell you what
trying
I
to
said.
argue towards the conclusion that God exists
I'll
at
tell you
all.
what
In
I
which
said.
case, you'd have to apologize for asking a question that's apparently irrelevant to the topic. Either the question, do you know everything, is relevant towards the topic about whether or not God exists, or it isn't. If it is relevant, and that's a key point of trying to like
Well,
prove your
no, I
point,
said I
well,
don't.
then what I just said follows, right? You are arguing that you don't know everything, and because you don't know everything, that means God exists or God could exist or something like that. Or it's not relevant at all, and you're just asking irrelevant questions. You know, I assume when people ask me a question, it's relevant or it's meant to be relevant.
Ian, we talked about this the other day about having a spectrum, and you said you're at 0, and I said I'm at like 80 that I believe in God. So unfortunately, what you want is for everybody to jump off a bridge and say Jesus will save me. I'm not going to say that needs to happen, but at the
Did I
same
say
time,
that?
no, you didn't.
Then why do you say that I think that?
I didn't say that you think that. You have to start
You just
doing.
said, you literally just said, Ian, you think everyone should do that. Like, I didn't
Ian,
say
I did
that.
not say that. You have to play back.
I could
okay?
totally have misheard. Maybe I
Okay, you
misheard.
did. So let me. So I'll resolve it for you. You ready? We talked about a spectrum. You're at 0, right?
Hmm.
I'm at 80. At 80%, should I just go ahead and I apologize if I misspoke, but should I just tell everybody, if you believe in Jesus, jump off the bridge? 'Cause he'll
Oh, what
save
do you mean by that? There's like,
What I mean by that is a spectrum.
no. Could you like when you the phrase
I'm
like if you
trying to
believe in
answer.
Jesus, jump off a bridge? That's ambiguous to me. I'm not sure the meaning that's trying to
Because
convey.
you're a philosophical person, right?
Yeah, and that's like a metaphor. It's an unclear one. You could be
it's-
saying that I think all these people should like kill
I
themselves.
could be, but I can tell you what I'm saying.
Yeah, which is why I'm asking you to clarify it. Right?
I will if you. I'm just saying you have 0 faith. I'm not asking at 80% of faith in God for people to jump off a building or something. All I'm saying is, if you want to get the
connection
allegory,
between these things is still unclear to me. I don't know what the connection is between jumping off a building and being at like 80% faith. I have no clue what the connection is.
Wow, really? Seriously?
Yeah, seriously, I don't know what the connection is.
Well, I don't. What are we talking about here? Because there's pretty much a pretty basic thing. I'm not
Do you wanna
asking at 80. Well, I
elaborate?
can. I'm not at 80% in faith in God asking people to jump off bridges.
Am I?
No.
Is
you're
anyone
at
who's
0.
who's doing that?
No, what I'm saying is that I have a belief in God. You don't have a belief in anything because you're at 0 constantly.
Did I say I don't believe in anything?
Yes.
Do you think not believing in one thing means you don't believe in anything?
What do you believe in?
Yeah,
God?
I believe 2 + 2 is 4. You know, I
No,
believe
no,
I
no, no, no,
exist.
whoa,
I
whoa,
believe
whoa.
my girlfriend exists. I believe
Wait.
that I love my girlfriend,
Time
that she
out,
loves
time
me.
out,
You
time
know,
out.
I believe
Keep
that
it
I have
back.
like a workplace that I won't be naming. You know, I have lots of beliefs.
Time out. God isn't real, is it your banner?
Yeah, I
What
believe
are we
that
talking
as
about
well.
then? What are we talking about then?
Yeah, I believe
Did I
that God
say
isn't
I
real.
don't
You
believe
said that I
you
don't
have
believe
a
in
girlfriend?
anything.
I don't believe that
You said that I
you
don't
breathe
believe in
air.
anything.
God.
I don't believe in God. I believe that God isn't real.
Okay, so then you believe in that 100%. So you're 100%, right?
Yep, I think I have good evidence for it.
Okay, so I'm at 80% on my faith, but you're 100%. So guess what? Tell people to
Ooh,
jump off the bridge.
I'm not sure I quite grant that. I'm not sure that I grant that it's faith. I don't think that's the accurate description of a thing that you can demonstrate via a deductive argument. I'm not sure if it's accurate to say that that's faith as opposed to a reasoned belief.
Well, you said 100%. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if the premises are true, then the conclusion follows, and the premises are true.
Well, you said 100%. So you're a
Yeah.
smart guy. So you came to the conclusion because you're a well-read, well-educated person, right?
Oh, that wasn't the justification I gave. No, it's not
No,
because I'm
I'm-
well read and well educated that I think God doesn't exist. That's a horrible basis for an argument. I think that people who are well read and well educated should actually shut the fuck up about things that they can't give arguments for, that they haven't read into. I think that it's maybe fine to defer to the expert opinion on a thing, but I think that we have too many experts going into fields that they're not experts and sharing their opinions. I think the world would be way better if they didn't do that.
Isn't it dangerous to do anything at 100%?
No, I think 2 + 2 is 4 at 100%.
Okay. Sounds good. We're not talking about mathematical things, though, because
You asked, is
apparently-
there anything, isn't it dangerous to do anything at 100%? And I said, no, there are some things that it's fine to do at 100%. 2 + 2 is 4, for example.
You don't have any but here's the problem, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm being humble by saying 80%. You're 100%, but unfortunately, you have no mathematical evidence for something that you understand. You have no mathematical evidence to show that God doesn't exist.
But
However,
I do have
you are-
deductive evidence.
Nope. Mathematics doesn't do deduction. It just is perfection. Mathematics is everything perfected. So what you're telling me is that you have become an understanding person at 100. Listen, how about I put it to 60%? Will that make you feel better about my belief in God? Because you're 100% and you're not going to do anything else but say it's mathematical, but you can't give me any argument about mathematically God doesn't exist.
Fuck.
But it's deductive to you. So I apologize if I misrepresented your argument, but
What do
I
you,
think I just repeated everything you said.
What do you think deduction is?
It's taking conclusions and things and understanding and actually making a deduction. It's actually understanding, okay, I see this, I feel this, I hear this, I felt it, I smelt it, I tasted it, and oh, by the way, that's my reality. Right?
Yeah, no.
Okay, tell me.
Yeah, it's where you necessitate conclusions based off of premises and then the structure that those premises relate to each other with. I'll give you an example.
How do you get the premises?
Various different ways, depends on the proposition. So for example, you could say, I feel angry, I feel calm. If I feel angry and then I feel calm, then there are at least 2 emotional states that are possible. If there are 2 emotional states that are possible, then there are quantities of things that are possible. So then quantities must exist. So then numbers must exist. And then you can start deducing further things. But
okay,
right, so I'll give you an easy example, or I guess that was an example. That was an example of deduction. If the premises are true, then the conclusion follows.
Is there a mathematical equation that's never been actually understood yet?
Understood or proven?
To be solved still. Is there a mathematical equation that has not yet been solved?
Solved is going to be weird there because solved sounds like a calculation problem. Do you mean proven?
Why are we
because
mincing words here? Because
words matter. I think meanings matter and precision matters, especially when we're talking about a field like this.
When you have a mathematical problem, is there a solution?
To some of them. There are some that don't have solutions.
Why?
For example, the solution would be something undefined.
Until?
I don't know what until is doing there.
Well, so again, I'm trying to be a good faith debater here, okay? We did not understand certain things in mathematics 100 years ago. And I know we're going to talk about Aristotle or Galileo. I don't really care, but you have to understand we don't understand the mathematical equation of things that we still need to seek after, right?
Oh, are you
Because
saying like
there
there
are
are some things that we're still looking for like mathematical equations for?
yes, 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that. That there's like some things that we're still working on mathematically modeling with more precision. I agree with that.
Okay, then what if God is talking to us through mathematics?
That sounds like gibberish. I think mathematics, especially when we apply it to the real world, I think mathematics would largely be like an abstraction at that point.
Can you explain it like I'm 5?
Yeah, I don't think I could explain this like year 5. That there's like some mental representation. What it actually is that there's like structural similarities. That there are certain like structures of things, which just means like various things standing in specific relations. And quantities stand in a structural relations to each other. In fact, it's argued that you could define quantities exhaustively via their structural features, like where they appear within the structure.
Okay, well, that's fine. Anyways, listen, this has been a great talk. I'd like to talk again, unless you don't want me to.
No, that's fine. We can talk again.
I don't agree with you. I hope you understand maybe a little bit of like just you and I both becoming humble enough to like say, I don't know everything, and I can say I don't know everything would
I think I
actually
said that
kind of,
earlier. Did I
well,
not?
maybe you did, but at some point I feel like the tension and the friction exists because you are not saying that.
No, I agree. I'm not all knowing.
Well, but at the
Like, for
same
example,
time,
I don't know what porcupines eat.
oh, I can tell you 100%. You ready?
What is it? Is it grass? Is it
No,
bugs?
they eat bark beetles, and then after that, when they poop them
Hmm.
out,
Some might
then
think.
they
Some
eat
might
the
say that
poop.
that's a bug.
I have no idea what porcupines eat. So.
Okay.
But listen, just be genuine, man. Okay, I understand that you are having your argument and where you're coming from, but just kind of be genuine a little bit, right? Don't tell me that I'm not actually trying to have a good faith argument, because I can say I can't 100% tell you that I know where everything is and because of my faith. But for some reason, you can tell me that you're 100%. That's kind of disingenuous.
Why? If I have evidence that would warrant 100% belief, why? Why is that disingenuous?
Because you don't.
Then refute it.
You prove it.
Okay. Here you go. There's the proof. If time
God.
begins to exist, then then a timeless state would change into a temporal state. But that's not possible, because if something changes, it's in time. But a timeless state's not in time. So you'd have this timeless state that changes into a temporal state. So then both the timeless state and the temporal state would be in time. But then the timeless state's not in time. It's a timeless state. So time can't begin to exist because it leads to a contradiction. But if time does not begin to exist, then God did not create it. In order for God to create something, you would need to bring it into existence from a state of non-existence. But if God didn't create it, then he doesn't exist. He wouldn't be the creator of all things. Therefore, God does not exist.
Then you're the contradiction.
I am the contradiction. I take a contradiction to be something like a relation between propositions. I'm not sure that it's accurate to say that I'm a proposition.
No, you're the contradiction.
Okay, you can say it again, but put emphasis on like different parts
contradiction.
of the word. I just don't know what you think that's going to do for you.
Well, listen, man. It's one of those things where, okay, so I'll tell you what. I just want you on Saturdays or Sundays or whatever. I want you to preach whatever you believe in terms of like just saying, and I'm not saying preach in terms of the religious perspective. Just tell us what to believe in. Nothing, right?
No, I think you should believe in lots of things.
No. Read can you just read your banner real
Yeah,
quick?
this is, by the way, this is a thing that I
No,
believe.
can you
My
read
banner
it?
is a thing that I believe. That's an example of one of the things that I believe.
Can
That
you
God
read it
isn't
out?
real. Yeah, I believe
Can
that
you
God isn't real.
Okay, so preach it, which is what you're doing, and that's
Yes.
fine. Okay, so you are evangelical for God doesn't exist. That's
Sure.
cool. I like that.
Yep.
That's fine. No big deal, man.
Okay. I
Okay.
don't know. What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, we're obviously having a conversation, and it's unfortunate that every single time. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Next time we talk, I'm gonna take. Let's see here. We got what, 6, maybe 7
Have you
talking points. What I'll do is I'll have my 7 talking points, and I'll just reiterate them.
I would actually love that. I would so love that. By the way, the argument, just so you're aware, isn't like 7 talking points. It's 1 talking point. But what necessitates the conclusion, why the argument works, is because these premises necessitate this conclusion.
Okay, hold up a second. Let's just get to the point of this. So you're telling me it's 1 talking point, but I'm
Yes.
looking at bullet points.
Yes.
So you're telling
I'll
me
give you an
that
example.
no. I don't need an example. I'm
I think you
reading it right
do.
now. I don't need an example. You're saying it's just 1 talking point, but it has 7 different
It's
bullet
one
points.
argument towards one conclusion.
Well, it's not a talking point. That's an
Oh,
argument.
then I don't know what you mean by talking point.
No, you said it's 1 argument.
Yeah, it's
A
one
talking.
argument.
Okay, but how many talking points do you have?
What do you mean by talking point?
1, 2, 3.
Are you asking
C1,
like how
4.
many premises are there?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that every one
I
of
think
those
that you're
needs.
probably going to get misled if the thing that you're focusing on in the argument is the number of premises. I'm not sure that's the relevant feature.
Every single point that you have can be debated, right?
Some of them are, it's going to be way harder than
No,
others, yeah. But yes,
no,
in
no.
theory, you could contest any of them. Some of
Okay,
them are like trivially true.
those are
Others of
talking
them
points.
are like substantively true, though.
Those are arguments. They're not. They're arguments. Each individual one.
By a talking point, do you just mean like something that you can contest?
You're saying you only had 1 argument, but you've
Yes.
given me 7 different things.
So an argument is just a set of premises that necessitate a conclusion via some valid inference rule.
Ian, where do you go to school?
Where do I go to school? You want my like docs?
No, I don't want a docs, but I mean, are
You want
you
like I can
Ivy
give
League?
you like my latitude and my longitude.
I don't care. Are you Chicago based?
No.
Okay, that's fine. I don't really care. But you're being disserviced right now by this argument and this conversation, right?
Okay,
You
here I
understand
go.
that?
Latitude 39.2904, longitude 76.6124.
That's got to be New York.
Nope.
Close though, right? I don't
Depends
really care, to be
depends what you mean
honest
by
with you.
close.
I don't really care. Listen, when I hang up this phone in a minute, I will not think of you again until I want to go ahead and decide to be argumentative. How about that?
Okay.
But this is your job, right? I'm just here as an amateur.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it was great talking to you. Next time, what I'll do, I will check half my brain so that way it's a fair fight. But you take care of yourself now, buddy,
I
okay?
just don't know if you should be saying that after a debate performance like the one that you just had.
You've said that all the time, and guess what?
It's like very true, right? Like the things that I like, sometimes I am fronting, sometimes I am bullshitting. I'm not like everything that I say, like it's just true when I'm talking to you. Everything that I've said about how like you misrepresenting me and that being the reason why people dislike you, it's just true. Like that, I feel very strong in my conviction about that. I think I might place like the strength of my
Where'd
conviction
your
about that at like
conviction come from,
95% or
Ian?
something.
Where'd your
The
conviction come
experiences
from,
that I've
Ian?
had with you.
Okay, so where did those come from?
talking to you? Like, are you asking what caused them? Like the signals that travel through the internet and then pop up on my side that then like I'd speak signals back into the internet and pop up on your side. Like, I'm not sure what you're asking.
I'm just trying to figure out, because apparently we're all just spinning around, and it's just we're just having a conversation. We're atoms colliding, and we're just cells.
I didn't even say that.
I know you didn't say it, but all I'm saying is I'm affirming what you're saying.
But
which is
that's
that we're just a
contradiction. You just said
random.
that I didn't say it. So I both said it and didn't say it, apparently.
No, what you're saying is God doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
So then what are we? We're just what I just said. Repeat it back. If God doesn't exist, then what did I just say that you apparently disagree with?
You said that I said that we're just, particles bumping into each other, that we're just like a bunch of atoms, that we're just a bunch of cells. You did say that. I was paying attention. So was the chat. The fact that you can't even be honest, that you think everybody is like so stupid, like you think so little of people that they're dumb enough to forget what happened like 5 seconds ago.
Ian, did I say that you said that?
Yes.
Okay, do you disagree with it?
An atheist could take different stances on it. I do agree with it, though.
Jesus Christ. You're out
It's a
your mind, dude.
mischaracterization of the position. It doesn't follow from the fact that God doesn't exist, that therefore you're committed to that.
Then,
For example, you could be like a Buddhist that believes in souls. And you could be like an atheist that way.
Here? What are we doing here, man? I have to get like some sort of at least concrete, like what is true?
Maybe before you ascribe a position to me, you could just like ask me if I hold to it.
Okay, so we are a random set of cells, atoms, matter.
Oh, I'm sorry. And we should clarify it. What do you mean by random?
I don't have.
Do you mean like, I don't know. Some people load like random to mean like accidental or like chaotic. But if by random you just mean like something that comes about via like chancy laws of nature, then yeah. I mean, clearly it's random. That's why it didn't happen on the planets that are around us, So we were in the right range with the right circumstances. They weren't.
Okay. So I don't know how much broader I can get to get affirmation from you, and I don't need it. Then I'll replace random with purposeful.
You mean purposeless?
Purposeful.
So what would be the question? Inserting the word purposeful into it?
Yeah, taking away random. You obviously
are you asking
understand
like, are
everything.
we purposeful atoms or like purposeful cells?
Oh my gosh.
You're
Hey,
not going
man,
to like this
listen.
answer, but there are really common positions in philosophy of biology that would describe evolutionary processes as purposeful.
You can't have philosophy and biology in the same context. You understand
I have
that,
horrible news for you. There's an entire branch of philosophy that is the philosophy of biology. Same with all of the sciences, actually.
Philosophy is not a science.
I agree it's not a science. I didn't
Then
say
why
that it
is
was.
biology that's
because
a science?
there are philosophical topics that relate to biology. Like, for example, whether or not to understand biology or biological functions, whether or not there's a sense in which you could call them purposeful. So some philosophers of biology would argue that your heart is purposeful in the sense that if it did not pump blood, then it would not have evolved in that way. That this is, in some sense, the thing that it is evolved to do, because if it didn't do that, it wouldn't have evolved in that way.
Ian.
So,
hey, Ian.
in that sense, you could say that the heart's purpose is to pump blood.
Hey, Ian. Is there such a differentiation between humanities and science?
Sure. Although I think it's going to be blurry. Yeah. I think
How is it blurry?
I think that the thing that they want to get at is that the sciences are aimed at objectivity, that like neutrality, like you're free of biases to the extent that you can be.
Well, that seems like a line that is so blurred that I'm getting cross-eyed. Because you can't be a biology major and have a minor in philosophy as it relates to the fact that they're both different.
I have bad news
They're
for you. I have
no.
devastating news for
You
you.
can have a minor in
This is
something.
about to be like the worst day of your life. You actually can major in biology and have a minor in philosophy. In fact, I bet there's probably going to be someone in the comment section of this video that says, "Hi, I was a biology major in college, and then I did a philosophy minor." Like, this is why would you say something like that? It's just obviously false.
Okay, what I mean by that, and listen. I falter. Okay, so I fail.
Mhm.
What I mean by that is they are juxtapositions.
They're certainly different, but there's overlap.
There's overlap, of course, but at the same time, philosophy is never going to be something that has a actual observable understanding of things. I have a philosophy, so guess what? My philosophy is one thing, right? So I have we're arguing against philosophy. So guess what? So you're saying that I'm always right? Because it's scientific, right?
Wow, I knew exactly what was gonna. I'm so
No,
glad that the SCP exists. So wait one sec, let me pull it up.
no,
Apparently,
no.
there's an
Answer the
entire
question.
SCP page about this topic,
Just answer the
titled
question.
one sec,
Philosophy. I have a
philosophy of biology. Apparently, there's an entire
No, I
Stanford
have a
Encyclopedia of Philosophy entry about this exact topic, philosophy of biology. You know, prehistory of philosophy of biology, 3 types of philosophy of biology, philosophy of life, philosophy
Do
of
you want to answer my
evolutionary
question, or
biology,
do you want
systematic
to
biology, molecular
Wikipedia?
biology. There's
Do
apparently
you want to
this is like
Wikipedia?
a very dense field of study in philosophy. I was aware that it
So
existed, but I wasn't aware that it was
I
like this dense.
hey
So it seems like
Ian,
actually there's like enough overlap about this exact field that there are people who have dedicated their entire lives to studying the
hey
philosophy of
Ian, I have a
biology.
philosophy. So does that make it science?
Nope, not necessarily.
Well, not necessarily.
There
Okay,
are certain
leave
things that
yourself the back door
qualify.
to go out.
Well, it's just true. I'm sorry. I understand from talking to you that you don't value precision, which is why you feel comfortable like misconstruing my words, being very imprecise with your own words.
Okay,
I value
Ian,
precision. When I say something, I'm going to
Ian,
try to be as precise as possible with that.
Ian, is philosophy science?
No.
Thank you.
Now, the better question is science philosophy?
No,
Arguably. Do you know what a
no,
natural philosophy is? It turned
I
into a
do. It's
little
to question
known
everything.
field
It's
that
to
you might have
question
heard
everything.
of, or I guess maybe a couple of fields. Turned into, you know, maybe like an umbrella term for a lot of fields. It's science. Science used to be called natural philosophy.
Until it wasn't. What does that have to do with anything?
Science started out as philosophy. A lot of things start out as philosophy.
Well, what I'm going to tell you is philosophy is just the existence of asking questions
It's
and to
not.
try to. Okay, you tell me what philosophy is.
Yeah, philosophy studies the nature of things.
By what?
Lots of different mechanisms, lots of different methods.
What's the first thing?
I'm not sure that there's a first thing. I'm
It
not sure what
is.
the
It's to
sequencing of
ask the
philosophy is.
question. It's to ask the question. It's the essence of philosophy, Ian.
I don't know if that's, maybe that's true. I don't know if that's true. No, I think you need the categories before you can ask the question. No, I don't think that's
Can't even get
true.
the You
I
can't
think
even
I
get
think
the
that prior
category.
to
You
getting
can't even
prior
get
to
the
asking the
categories until you
question,
ask
you would
the
need to have
question.
some concept of what you're asking.
Ian,
So
you
even that
can't even
strikes me as debatable.
you can't even get the categories unless you ask the question of what are the
How can
categories.
you ask the question if there are no words in the question? Because you don't have any concept of anything.
I'm not talking about the actual sentences and the words and the
Sorry,
nouns and the verbs. What I'm
that's
saying
what I'm
is
at. That's what I take a question to be.
a question is the pursuit.
Oh,
To
so
say,
you
what
just
is
mean like the
this?
pursuit, like you need to pursue figuring things out before you can figure things out?
How about this? Inquisitiveness.
You need to be inquisitive. I think people figure things out even when they're not inquisitive. Like, I don't know, this
Jesus, Ian.
I think there
Come
goes
on, man.
I think there goes more into this than you think there is, which is why you keep running into stumbling block after stumbling block.
Ian, I honestly
I think that this is like way deeper than you think it is. I think that you think that philosophy is trivial, but then you can't like you take like micro steps into talking about it, and you step on like an actual infinity of rakes.
How did we get here? I said philosophy and science are two separate things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, you
Okay.
you sure did say that.
Okay, but you're saying now they're not.
Yeah. You'd probably want to. I think I might say that every field is a subset of philosophy, but some of them have just branched into their own fields, such that it would be foolish to study them through philosophy.
A subset is just basically saying I focus on biology, but I have a respect for philosophy. It doesn't mean
That's not.
that they're the
That is
same
emphatically
thing.
not what philosophy of biology is.
Okay, so you're basically saying that philosophy holds the same standards as modern biology.
I did not say that.
Well, then what are you saying?
I'm saying that there are philosophical presuppositions baked into all of these scientific fields, and that philosophy of biology, philosophy of physics, it's going to, especially like philosophy of science, huge field of philosophy, by the way. All of these fields are going to be investigating the presuppositions that go into scientific inquiry.
Ian, listen, you cannot have a doctorate in biology and practice philosophy.
Why not?
You cannot have a doctorate in philosophy.
Why not?
And
Sean Carroll has a doctorate in physics and practices
cut me off.
philosophy.
You cannot have a doctorate in philosophy and practice biology, right?
What would you make of the fact that Sean Carroll has a PhD in physics and practices philosophy?
I would say that person is well-rounded. I'm just saying that
So
you're
you
saying
can.
philosophy for you, apparently you've been trying to say it's scientific. It's not.
Oh, no, I said the opposite. I said science is philosophical. You
Okay,
misrepresented my position again.
How did I misrepresent that?
Yeah,
Say
you
that
said
one more
that I
time.
said that philosophy is scientific, but that's the opposite of what I said. I said science is philosophical.
So put an equal sign in between that, and then if you
It's not,
swap it.
that is not accurate. Like, you can't just do that.
Well, no, why not?
Because ascribing the properties, some things are subsets of other things. So, for example, you might want to say that all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. You know, you can't just flip that. You can't flip that to say, well, all rectangles are squares, but not all not all squares are rectangles or whatever. Like,
Okay. Well, I think at this point I got to go feed my kids, which have had death threats on them. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to mention
wait, so
that.
could you I'd actually be interested. Would you mind could you give like a screenshot for that? I'm not sure I believe you.
Well, of course,
Yeah,
you're
send a
skeptical on
screenshot.
everything. You're
Yeah, wait, how about
skeptical on everything.
tell you what,
How about-
dinner's on me. If you can go into your DMs, take a screenshot of somebody who has issued death threats to your children, I'll Venmo you $50.
Sounds good. Can you make it 100?
No. 50.
Why? No, do 100. Come on, man.
Nope, 50.
Okay, sounds
If
good.
you
to
if you can
me.
go screenshot somebody sending a death threat against your children from before this live.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I
Anything
suspect
else?
we won't see you. And by the way, when we don't see you, the next time you try to
Oh.
come up here, that's the first thing I'm going to be confronting you about.
Triggered.
Do you think saying triggered is going to help you?
No, you just got really upset. I saw that pen kind of.
Well, yeah,
thrusted back
so
and
there is
forth.
something that I'm upset about, which is that I suspect you're lying about my community. I suspect that what you just said is a lie.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I can't do it while we're in chat, but
Yeah,
I will
yeah. Wait, how
definitely
about you
show it
just
to
go and then you take the screenshot and you come back up? How about
How
that?
can I do that?
How can you do that? You
Yeah,
hit
how
the
can I
X
show the
button and then
screenshot?
you yeah. So when you tap on your picture, there's going to be
How about
an
this?
image selection option.
Satan's little helper is the one that's been chastising me constantly. So you look him up and you can talk to him about it. How about
Satan's
that?
little helper. Wait.
Yes.
Can you just show the screenshots?
I can, but do you want me to do it right now while we're live and I
Yes.
can't do that?
Yes,
How
I want
can
you to
do
show
that?
the screenshots. Yes.
Okay. So
You wouldn't lie about a thing like that, would you?
here, Ian. Here's the deal. Ready?
Would
I'm gonna
you?
hit the X. I'm gonna hit the X.
You wouldn't lie about that, would you?
No, I wouldn't. I'm gonna hit the X at the top right, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then it says leave live.
Yes.
Okay.
And then you're
so I'm
gonna go
leave
get the
live.
screenshot and you're gonna come back here. And then you just go get the screenshot of somebody threatening your children with death before this stream, because there might be some Christian who's trying to get you $50 by DMing you that. So one before this stream, and then come back here. And then if you can do that, that'd be great. We'll block the person. I'll Venmo you $50. What's up, Molly? Molly, are you aware that you're on TikTok? Oh, okay. I see what you're doing. You're just seeing whether or not you can do that.
Yeah, I'm just messing with some audio stuff. And also, I just wanted to scare Carl away. I thought he might get extra scared away if there was some lady bits about.
True. But while you're here, what another great opportunity to sing you happy birthday again. It's Molly's birthday. Everyone say happy birthday to Molly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Molly. Happy birthday to you. Let's read supers. Devontae Chapman, thanks so much for the corgi. Appreciate you. Big W. Like a Wild Wolf. Thank you so much. Wait, why is my shit? Why is my shit like brutally lagging the fuck out? Like a Wild Wolf, thanks so much for the super chat. Carl, no one who is actually being mistreated is this pathetic and sniveling. Good thing you're in therapy since you clearly need it. That is the type of harassment that I'm in favor of. Dr. Fudge, thanks so much for the super chat. I mean, I think the real problem is that his argument boils down to, you could be wrong, so shut up. This is the core argument of this Weasley line of argument. Yep. Oh, it's funny that you said that because I confronted him about this exact thing. Oh, okay, wait, he's back. Excellent. All right, so do you know how to get the screenshot up? Yes, yeah, go for it. Yep.
Well, I lied. I don't.
You don't know how to get the screenshot up?
No.
Yeah, so you have to press on your own profile right there, and then one sec. I can walk you through the steps. I'll join in like an alt.
Hey, you know what, Ian? It's really funny. I just heard all the crap you talked about me when I was off. It was really cool.
That
right?
was somebody's super chat. What am I supposed to do? Not read it?
No. You responded to it, and basically, you're okay with me getting harassed, right? Even if it's
Depends
not
what you mean by harassment. If by harassment you mean like somebody says that you're dumb when you act dumb,
cool.
I'm
Okay,
fine. I'm
Ian,
fine with people getting told that they're dumb when they act dumb. Like I'm fine with that.
Do you think that that's kind of like an elementary thing that you're trying to minimize when I have tons of people saying horrible things way more than that?
Well,
Even
I
not
think
that,
that
but
if it's way more than that, it depends on the type of thing. Some people
well,
are so sensitive that they might include being called dumb in that way as harassment, which apparently you do.
how does it apparently?
Because you just told me that you consider the message. I mean, I think the real problem is that his argument boils down to, you could be wrong, so shut up. This is the core of this Weasley line of argument. You find that to be, or the one before that, like, Carl, no one who is actually being mistreated is this pathetic and sniveling. Good thing you're in therapy since you clearly need it.
Okay.
Like that one, or
No, you responded afterwards. Somebody actually screenshotted it.
well, so
You're okay with me getting harassed, but as long as it's not death threats.
no, it depends what you mean by harassment. There are some there's like some mean DMs that I'm fine with, and there are some mean DMs that I'm not fine with. Like the one that you read out earlier, I'm not fine with that one. You know, I think that if somebody's calling you a slur, I think that that's way over the line. I think that that person should be removed from my community. But if somebody's like,
what do you
"You're
think
dumb,"
your community says? Do you think that? Oh,
well,
hey,
how about
you're
you show
dumb.
us? You said that you have the screenshot. So here's what I can do. I can go forth. I can log on in.
Ian, this is not a good time for any. Listen,
It
I
is a
really
good time.
don't
You're literally
care.
here. You lied, didn't you? You're a scumbag. You lied about people threatening your children when they didn't. You lied about my community. You're a piece of shit. Right. I'm right, aren't I? You're not going to be able to produce the screenshot. You lied.
That's an ouchie. You hurt me.
I hope I did. You're a scumbag if you lied about that.
I am not lying about it.
Then
but
show
I
the
don't.
screenshot.
Okay, well, what do you want me to do, man?
I want you to show the screenshot that demonstrates the thing that you claimed.
Okay.
Or admit that you lied. Admit that you lied about my community because you're, I don't know, insecure.
No, apparently you have more faith that you know that your community is 100%.
Show the screenshot.
Without a doubt.
If you have the
Never
evidence,
going
then
to
show the
do anything.
screenshot. Actually, Carl, I'll make it 100. I will make it 100. Show me the screenshot. I'll Venmo you $100.
Okay. Show me how to do it.
Yep. On my way.
By the way, my name's not Carl. I had to change my name. I wonder why. But thank you, Ian, for doing that. That was
92.
great.
Wait, one
Thank you for
sec.
doxing me. Because I changed my name for what reason? I don't know. Who knows?
It's
why?
your first name, bud.
Huh?
It's your first name, bud.
I'm not your bud, buddy.
Okay. I'll walk you through the tutorial now that I have
I'm
my
not your
alt here.
pal. I'm not your guy friend. I'm not your friend, pal. I ain't your guy, buddy.
You okay? Are you having like an episode?
No, it's just a South Park episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome
Terrence
to the
and
stage.
Phillip. Terrence and Phillip.
Welcome to the stage, Bad Faith Barry. Okay, so how do you do this damn thing?
Oh, I thought you had this already set up. What are you trying to do here? You struggling. He's struggling.
I am.
Okay, then bye. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Wait, I'm sure somebody
Oh,
Molly, can you
okay.
figure out how to show photos? Do you
Oh.
know how?
You can't.
I
Dummy.
think it's like some setting that I don't know.
All right.
Wait, before you like sprint away,
I'm not sprinting away.
are you able to show screenshots, Molly? Or I guess like show like any picture at all? Like, I thought that the way you did it was by showing a green screen.
All right, Ian. It was great talking to you. I wasted a little bit of time
Wait,
in my
sorry,
life.
before you leave.
Oh, no. We'll come
Don't
back later.
run.
We'll talk
Don't sprint
later.
away. Don't sprint away.
Okay, I'm not going to sprint away. I've wasted a lot of time. What do you want me to do?
I want you to stay so we can get this figured out.
I have no problem sharing with you something that really I hate, and I had to change my name. So I have no problem with that, Ian.
Oh, okay. Wait, I figured it out. Okay, here's what you do. So first you go to camera, and then you can so you press your camera, you hit the camera button, and then it brings up like this effects tab, and then there's one that's like a picture with like a green background that's like checkered. And then it lets you do that, for example.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hey, let me call tech support. I'll
Wait,
listen.
don't run. Don't fucking sprint away now. So
I'm
you
not
hit the
sprinting
you hit the
away,
camera.
bro.
Wait. You hit the camera button, and then it should pull up an effects tab. You go to the effects tab, then you hit the green screen, And then you pull up the screenshot where supposedly someone in my community threatened to kill your kids, but they didn't actually because you're a liar.
So if I can't do that, then
You
you're
can do
going
that. What
to-
happens? What happens when you try to?
You know what? Honestly,
That's the sound of a liar getting caught, by the way.
No. Can you do me a favor?
Wait. What happens when you try to? What happens?
No, can you do
Describe
me a
it to
favor?
us. Paint us a
Can you-
picture.
Can you type it out real quick? The steps on your thing, so that I
Yes.
can figure out
Okay,
the steps.
I will repeat them. Step one.
No. Type it on your thing.
Yes. Okay.
Type it for me. And I'm not a liar, by the way.
Swear to Christ that you're not a liar. Swear
I'm
right
not
now.
a liar.
Swear to
Jesus
Christ. Say, I
Christ.
swear on Jesus. I swear on the Bible that I'm not lying about this.
I swear on Jesus. I swear on the Bible that I'm not lying.
Yep. Let's get the steps on screen.
Okay. Gosh, a little triggered today.
We got. So you hit the camera button.
I don't see a camera button.
Do you see a button that looks I don't know. How do I? What do you see on the bottom row? Like, how would you describe those icons?
Jesus Christ. It's so easy, but you need to ask questions, right?
I thought
So-
it was pretty identifiable. Which one's the camera? But I guess not.
No. I have pictures already. What are you talking about? I have screenshotted it. What do you want me to do?
Okay. Let me. I wonder if
So,
I can.
I understand how to take a screenshot. Okay, what else do you want me to do there, bud? Hit the camera button. Okay, it's easy. I'm waiting. Turn my shower on. I'm about to take a shower. Let's do this while we get clean together.
Okay, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, you're weird.
I think it's a bit more weird to be like taking a shower. You know.
I don't think I'm actually.
What are
taking a
you trying to
shower at
wash the
point.
sin off or?
No, I rescued 5 dogs and I'm actually trying to get them cleaned up, but that's okay.
You think more
won't
lies is
believe
going to
that
help
either
you in a
until you see
situation
'em.
like this?
What's that?
You think more lies? Surely not
Okay.
more lies. Okay, wait. So here's what we got. You
Oh
see-
my gosh,
You see this one? Wait, do you see this one? The one that's the one on the left, the camera?
Ian, dude, I gotta let you go, man.
Do you see it? You know?
No,
You
you're
see it?
making it out to be like
You see that one?
what?
You see that?
No, I don't see that at all. What are
You
you?
don't see the camera?
I see Artie back.
It's
What
on,
are you
it's huge in front of you. It's the camera one. You hit the camera one. You see that one?
Dude.
You're a fucking liar. You just lied on Jesus' name.
Okay.
You are a
fine.
fucking liar. You don't even believe it. Why would I believe the thing that not even you believe in? You just got up in front of all these people. You accused my community of doing horrific things to you, threatening horrific things upon your family, and you just lied. You lied about all of it. And this is the good moral fruits that Christ said, I'll know them by?
You don't
Is that
you don't
accurate?
have
You think
you
lying
don't have-
about your kids getting death threats is a good moral thing to do?
First off, you don't have evidence of it, but for some reason you have
Then
faith.
go. If I'm wrong about this, I will give you $1,000. $1,000 I will pay to you if you show the screenshots right now.
I'll tell you what, Ian, do me a favor. If you can do me a favor, okay? I don't understand what you're talking about. Apparently, you're fumbling on how to ship. Supposedly, I can
It's this
share
button.
photos.
You hit this button. Do you see my screen? Do you see the big screen?
I don't have a button.
Do you see the big screen?
I see the big screen. I don't have a button. What the fuck are you
What do
talking
you see on the
about?
big screen?
I see Artie back. And I
Okay, but what do you
see
see
some
below
sort
that?
of-
What are those?
I don't have those buttons.
But what are they?
It's a video and it's a microphone. What the fuck are you talking about,
Okay.
Ian?
Well, here's what you could do. I think that it prompts you to. I think it prompts you to have your camera
doesn't!
on. Whoa.
It
whoa,
doesn't.
Whoa. Let's just calm down there. No need to get upset. But here's what you can do. When you first come up on stage, it prompts you to have your camera turned on. You want to hit save. You can specifically come on. In fact, let me let me back out and make sure.
Ian, it doesn't matter. I'm a liar.
It does
That's
matter.
fine.
You are a
okay?
liar. I can't
Why?
believe you would lie about something like this.
You have no evidence that I did.
So it shows up like this. So then you hit you hit him with the that. Do you have video permissions enabled? Oop. Do you have video permissions enabled? He swore on Jesus' name too. This guy's going to like turbo hell. He's going to giga hell. I honestly wonder if he was lying about like his cancer story as well. I actually think that a person like that probably deserves like more severe forms of harassment. No death threats, no slurs, but like I would have a pretty high tolerance in terms of the things that I would be okay with. Obviously nothing that's over the line, but like, man, if people are bullying you for being like a fucking lying, like scumbag weasel fucking loser, like I get it, man. In fact, I think I might send one right now. Where is he? What's his tag? Does anyone know? Fuck you, you lying scumbag. You're not half the man her ex was. Learn, read Aristotle. Sent. All right, let's go to the next super chat. Missy Debbie, thank you so much for the super chat. As a brain living without senses in a jar, I side with Ian. That's funny. That is so funny. Possum Punks, thanks so much for the super chat. Am I a worthy opponent? Why is Carl looking for approval like a medieval squire? Like, I was a bit taken aback by that too, right? Like, you want me to affirm your existence? I don't want to do that. Listen, I just don't want that. I don't want to be, don't put me in that position. Like a wolf, thanks so much for the super chat. Carl, what's the point of being a whiny liar when everybody can see you can see clearly? I'm sorry. Carl, what's the point of being a whiny liar when everybody can see clearly? Oh, I get it. It was like a trivial statement. Carl, what's the point of being a whiny liar when everyone can see clearly you being a whiny liar? You shit your pants and we can all smell it. Quit playing dumb. Admit your bad faith. True. Like a wild wolf. Thanks so much for the super chat. I want back, Carl said. Ian, what you want is true. Oh, okay. That's good. That's good. I'm not getting gaslit. Holy shit. So many super chats. Constantine, thanks so much for the super chat. Carl soft launching Jonestown too, but it's a bridge. I was so confused by that. Is he like saying like, I don't think theists should like take their own lives. There's like a extremely select few people. I don't know if anybody should take their own life, actually. I mean, I think that if you're like such a horrendous like piece of shit, maybe the Junko Furuta killers, maybe they should. Maybe they would be a good candidate for like people who I think should take their own lives. But like, man, it's like dire circumstances that are like totally irreversible is what I would, yeah. Certainly not like just being a theist or something. True, he did lie about feeding his kids. He went to take a shower. What a fucking scumbag. What a what a profoundly. I wonder if he even has kids. Holy shit. My entire world is like crumbling around me, man. Mathematics doesn't do deductions. The humble subtraction sign. That's funny. Jazz Bearing Crab. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Allison, thank you so much for the super chat. Love your channel. I've learned so much from you. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. I don't know. I'm glad that people are able to get value out of this. I really enjoy talking about all these topics. I have like an ungodly number of super chats. Holy shit. I'm like, I know my steak is too juicy. My lobster is too buttery. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. PL, thanks so much for the super chat. Russell is lurking. Bring him up, please. Russell never joins. Come on. Russell isn't a joiner. He's like a shit talker. You know, he totally beat my ass. You know, my argument did contain a fallacy. So true, King. So true. Narcissa, thanks so much for the super chat. Christians, please read Dahlgren and take college courses. I've never read Dahlgren. I'm sorry. If I went down the rabbit trail, I would never be able to get through all of these. I'm sorry. I have to triage. Vorticia, thanks so much for the super chat. What made you switch views on Platonism after Q-Top? I think that's a very funny worded question, as if Q-Top is like related to that. I think that it's a good strategy, especially early on into my philosophical development, to just take the maximalist position on like a lot of things, because you're never at like an explanatory deficit. So I think this is typically a good philosophical method, is that you should be a maximalist about a lot of things, and then you should start whittling away the things that you don't need to explain reality. You should have mathematical objects in your ontology to the extent that they help explain what makes mathematical truths true. Like 2 and 4 exist, and they're part of like why 2 plus 2 is 4. That's like a very heavyweight sort of explanation, and then you should start like whittling your way towards like a nominalism after you find reason to discard them or ways to account for that stuff in other ways. Like a wild wolf, thanks so much for super chat. Carl, do you not know what a syllogism is? Wow, doxed again. Adrianarchy, thanks so much for super chat. Genuinely surprised to hear Carl can count to 3. Maybe that's why the example was so confusing to him. OFC Jimothy, thanks so much for super chat. Like a man with a fork in a world of soup. That's funny. That's a good one. Fact Junior, well, thanks so much for super chat. Bro pump faked us like 67 times saying he was gonna leave, bro. Leave. True. Brett, thanks so much for super chat. Ian, how does it feel to be Carl's best and only friend? The more I ponder, the more I reflect on it, am I really under the impression? Am I really convinced that Carl was able to find someone to have sex with and have kids with? I'm skeptical. I don't have any empirical evidence of that, which, as we all know, is my only standard of evidence. You know, it's the only type of evidence that I respect is empirical evidence. I don't have any empirical evidence of that. Skeptics and Scoundrels, thanks so much for the $5 super chat. Using your kids as a prop in your TikTok gripe fest. Stay classy, Carl. True. Real Marcus Holloway, thanks so much for super chat. I will Venmo you $50 to send to Carl if he produces an actual screenshot. Happy birthday, Molly. Yeah, I mean, it would have been in like an easy band. That actually would have been like the fucking bait of the century if he baited out like the band and then he is like, okay, here's the screenshot. I actually would have been devastated, dude. I would have been so fucking mortified if he produced the screenshot after I told him that I'd pay him like $1,000. Like he would have fried my ass. He might even be playing the long game. Maybe we're working our way up to like a mortgage or something. Bill Ashby, thanks so much for the super chat. Good golly. Miss Molly, happy birthday. True. That's true. I just conferred with Allah. I'm his messenger, and that's true. Adrianarchy, thanks so much for the super chat. Carl came back instead of feeding his kids CPS now. He saved 5 puppies. Allison, thanks so much for the super chat. I'm hoping you'll see this in time. Or see me this time. Oh, that's right. I missed you last time. OFC Jimothy, thanks so much for the super chat. Carl's the type to vindictively put sand in his own gas tank because the police ticketed him for speeding. That's like surprisingly like a good analogy, I think. Like a wild wolf. Thanks so much for the super chat. Carl, human to human, talk to someone. No bullshit. You need help. You are not well. I tried to give him like candid advice. Holy shit. Oh gosh. I still have so many super chats. Dr. Pizza MD, thanks so much for the super chat. Being as whiny and pathetic as possible is a pretty bad debate tactic. I think he was banking on you feeling bad for him so that you would concede the debate out of pure pity. Perpetual victim method. I know I'm like suffering from success. I'm going to read the other super chats. I'm going to take a caller and then I'm going to read the other super chats after. Maybe I'll have to. Anyway, hey, what's up? How's it going? God over everything. Are you there? Hello? Tragic. You'll be at the top of the queue.
Join.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. How old are you?
Fantastic. So I'm 36.
Yeah.
1990.
And what religion?
Okay, so I started as an atheist, became an agnostic, and now I'm a happy Catholic Christian. And some of the points you made were pretty cool. I wanted you to bring up that type notes sheet because I assume that's based on a biblical perception. Your argument.
Which one? The time argument?
The one you did with the most annoying guy ever.
You mean like the argument? If time begins to
why
exist,
is God is real? Because if we're doing a straight up, I believe God is real, and you believe He isn't. I do believe you had a right
the
there.
timeless state would change into a temporal state. Anything that changes is in time. A timeless state is not in time. Therefore, the first conclusion is that time did not begin to exist. And then premise 4, if time did not begin to exist, then God did not create it. If God did not create it, then God does not exist. Therefore, God does not exist. Yeah, which premise here would you take issue with?
Okay, so for one, this seems obviously this is you looking at a lot of different Bible verses and you overlooking the scripture, and then you're coming up with your own thesis on the contradictions of it due to the fact that it seems to be just a belief you have based on a bunch of scriptures put together. I can't
which
help.
Scripture is cited here? This is like a philosophical argument for the most part.
Oh, so this is a philosophical argument. It's not based on scripture?
No.
'Cause you said God isn't real, but
Yes.
I didn't know which. So this is universal, so no deities. Okay.
Yes, that there is no ultimate mind.
Okay, yeah. If we're avoiding biblical stuff, my opinion is that that God and time could happen at the very same time. So if your opinion is God needs time to exist, if that's what I'm reading is that God needs time, that they're exclusive, I would argue that they're inclusive, that they happen at the same time.
So there's like two problems here. One, that's not really the argument, but I mean, two, God isn't the sort of thing that happens. You know, God is like an object. So it would be accurate to say like God exists. Maybe you want to say that God exists at a specific time. Like that would be like not a category error, but God happens to me just sounds like a category error. In the same way, saying like a coconut is prime is a category error. But also the argument isn't that God can't coexist with time. It's that God cannot create time. And because
Yes,
God can't
that's
create time, he's not the creator of all things, which means that
got
he's
you.
non-existent.
Got you. I'm hearing what you're saying, but due to the fact that time is one of the least understood properties of everything Einstein did, and I can't really, I don't think you can. I don't think that makes sense. I
Which of
think
these
God.
premises is false?
Which one of these premises is false? Okay, let me read through them here. And you do this for a living every day, and I took the chance here just because I honestly thought I could learn a thing or two from you.
Are you sure?
But
Because I could have sworn in the comment section that the reason why you were doing this, you were saying, I'll convert you. Like, why are you scared? And
that was actually my roofing buddy who I can video you on the thing. He was trying to get me on this chat, and he's sitting right next to me. He was saying stupid stuff to get me on the feed, but it was not that hostile at all.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, so ultimately, yeah, I believe that God
I can
ultimately would have to happen. I would believe that God would ultimately happen to exist on his own sporadically. Like everything I've understood about the universe, we don't know where it started, we don't know where it came from. If God created universe and existence altogether, I would have to state that due to the fact that we don't have empirical data on all this stuff, that that God just happened and then time happened later.
that doesn't really respond to the argument. Can you tell me like these things are like numbered? So maybe you could tell me that you disagree with one, that you disagree that time beginning would be, this like timeless state of reality that changes into like a temporal state.
Okay, 5. So I was going more off your overall conclusion. If God did not create time, then God does not exist. God does not exist. If God did not create time, then God does not exist. I would argue that God happened before time for time to happen.
Before is a time word. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Oh yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, but yeah.
So there was time before time.
I think you got me there.
Yeah, I think this argument's like pretty robust. But
yeah,
is there? Do you have like evidence that God exists? Like you can.
Okay, I mean, honestly, okay. So let me see here. So my personal my background in study is, and you've gotten really into the science of time and everything. Like you have plenty of time to think about this. My initial argument when I just found the channel, which was today, was ultimately I studied social work and everything like that. And so in my opinion on mental health and science and everything that came from that is that it's relatively new. It doesn't do a lot of good. It doesn't do as much good.
Or I must have misheard you.
Mental health, which is ultimately based on historical philosophy, the humanist theories and all of that stuff. So all of that's based on longstanding philosophy. But there's also a lot of data that shows that people that believe in God do live long lives and that there is a substantial health benefits from it. So I personally believe, I can't dig into your debate. You're gonna kill me on that. You sit around with those same 5 bullet points all day. You're gonna kill me on that. I have to study and get back to you on that. But ultimately, I believe that God is real because God works and does good.
I'm so confused about the connection between those things that you just said. I'm baffled, kind of. So it sounds like you were giving an argument to disbelieve science, but then the argument was something like you've studied social work and you've studied mental health, and it's good for your mental health, which would probably be a scientific claim. If you're making a general claim, that would be a scientific. Maybe you're speaking just about a personal anecdote, but I have no idea what that has to do with.
Okay. What I'm saying is, I personally believe God exists because God works. The way that we think about science and scientific theories, the way about it is that you test them, and if it's testable and it works, then you believe in it. I don't believe modern society or atheistic beliefs or music or just general beliefs and reading and creates positive physical health where people live a long time. For me in my life, Due to the studies I've read about the longest living people being
Where are
traditional
they?
people who live. What do you mean? I would say that there was a lot of studies about Italy and other places where people are religious and they live a long time.
What about the people in
Uh,
Okinawa, Japan? Do you think they're religious?
well, they believe in Shinto, so yeah, they are.
But do
I
they
wouldn't
believe
say
in
religious.
God?
But I ultimately can't state that. Yeah, no, I can't state that. No. So I think that would be a contradiction that I would like to look into. That's why I came on here, honestly, to talk to you about this.
Sure.
Yeah, well, I'd like to look into that. Yeah, I honestly, I've read different data that said that people lived longer when they do believe in God. If you're saying that data isn't that important, then I'd have to go back and see that.
It's not
But
that it's
my
not
belief is
important.
that,
Do you have what is the data?
yeah, it was basically I don't have it on hand. I don't have it on hand. I didn't come here prepared today. I honestly just wanted to get on here to really get some points about things that I could go look into. I thought it was interesting. But I don't have a major crazy argument. I guess I suck as a debater. Big whoop. But yeah. So what I learned from just being in school and studying biology is that the longest living people believe in God, and if not God, some form of organized religion, and that the greatest empires in history existed off very complex, strong religious belief centers, whether Rome, Egypt, entire Western society, and
What
I
about the
can't
secular
imagine
United States of America? I mean, we're the
the
strongest
secular.
nation that's ever existed. And I mean, wait 30 years and you'll see an atheist nation, China, overtake us.
Yeah, I would argue though that their level of lifestyle and things like that. I guess that's a completely different discussion about being big and being powerful versus being fruitful and quality of life. That's a different discussion. But no, I can 100% say that even though we are on paper an atheist nation, but the historical nature of why we became so powerful is due to the inspiration, the values, the organization, the feeling of togetherness. Like, we are Christians, we are here. Most of us are Christians. We are here, and we're going to go and fight for this because we have something to protect, because our quality of life benefits from our belief systems, such as believing in God.
Could you
So saying like
that was
ancient
like pretty
Egypt couldn't be ancient.
opaque.
You saying like ancient Egypt couldn't be ancient Egypt with ancient Egypt can't be ancient Egypt without the gods.
But
Saying
they
like,
could have been like
oh, you
any
did all that.
gods.
What?
I mean, like, you could put basically any figure that you want in there.
Yeah, I guess you could put any figure that you want, but there is a figure. So
Yeah.
you're saying like yeah, and I'm not going off what the last guy said, where he's like, you don't believe anything. I've considered that like a stupid point, because you can have tons of beliefs that are important to you as an individual. But overall, I think that the history of major impressive societies that grew the human race forward were all based on immense, dense, complex spiritual and religious beliefs. So removing that in a modern society doesn't really benefit us.
Except like kind of the opposite, right? A lot of a big driver of enlightenment thinking, a big driver of all the innovation that's happened over the last like 300 years or so, is actually like secular objectivity, moving away from the church, taking it that you can actually like relegate what's in scripture to being like a metaphor has been what's allowed us to like really make some progress. That's why we've made explosive progress in the last 300 years. Whereas before that, because we were so trapped in religion, trying to reconcile things within a religious framework, that led to just a lot of like stalling out of science, basically.
Yeah, but none of it's at all importance if literally while we're making atheistic, secular philosophical discoveries, if someone's literally barging in our door to rape us because they have no morals or ethics.
Oh, but God
so you
commands
can-
those things.
No, but
God commands like the entire genocide of people groups. Like you can't, I mean, we can't have a society when God commands people to just go and genocide other people, right?
we're talking about on averages of everyday perception of God and religion spread out through the whole world. We're not like, you don't get to go in there and piece out specific scriptures. I'm talking about the everyday effect of nations that benefit from from
Do you have any
religion.
evidence that atheists would be doing that? Do you have like evidence related to, atheists are just like way more likely to do that?
Yeah, Maoist China. I mean, the massive genocides and deaths of Maoist China. The more
Do you
secular
have like
you
data
get.
though? Like, could I get like some
Okay,
sort of studies?
you can chat GPT it right now.
Because
The
my
amount of
understanding
deaths
of
for
like what happened in China is that the resources got stretched
well,
too
the
thin, that
chat
they were
GPT
trying
it
to
right now
do
because
much,
I'm
like
really
way too much,
historical
way
guy.
too quickly. And I mean, if the standard is just that that China like committed like rapes or whatever, I mean, that's true of every nation. It's probably like very true of like the Crusades.
Yeah, but I would love for you to go on ChatGPT and learn the percentages, even based on population inflation differences over time.
What do you want me
Because
to?
whenever
Sorry, what's the specific thing that you want me to look into? You want me to look into like the connection between religiosity and rape?
no, and death tolls, I'm talking about the overall quality and conditions of living and the respect for human life within your own society. Not talking about colonialism, not talking about any of that. I consider that, and I do believe in evolution. So I'm not a non-evolutionist. So I believe warfare and things like that are relatively, always going to be there with human beings.
Oops, sorry,
But
one sec.
when I'm talking,
Do you think autonomy and self-governance is a good thing?
not without guidance that's based in something that's thousands of years old.
I totally agree, right? Like abolish freedom of religion because freedom doesn't matter, apparently.
No, I believe
Do
that's
you,
that's
wait,
a
do you
contradiction.
do you support freedom of religion?
I don't know. I guess I've never thought about it.
Because those
I
are
don't know.
secular values, freedom of religion.
Yeah, I would say that from I would say I believe in God, but from a just common sense perspective, you can have I trust freedom of religion and all of that, but I believe the
Where can I
person that's
find that
at
in the
the helm.
Bible? Where can I find in the Bible where God is like, yeah, freedom of religion is great, guys. Be tolerant of other religions.
It's obvious. It's obviously not in there. That's
So it's a secular
that's a
value. It's an
different.
atheist value.
Yeah, I would argue that but on Jesus himself, when he dealt his mindset towards Jews or his mindset towards people who were non-believers, I follow Jesus, and he at no way, shape, or form said genocide everyone that doesn't follow me. So we can't pick apart different parts of the Bible. You just went in on a particular angle. I went on another angle. I tried opening this whole thing up to say we're avoiding the Bible. I've been trying to stick to that. But overall, let's get back to the point about
I'd be happy to argue that actually like atheist ethics are just like way better than Christian ethics. I mean, I think that your ethics are entirely subjective. It seems like unless I subjectively decide to listen to God, then there's no sense in which you could say that I ought do what God is telling me to. I need to subjectively make it my goal to do what God tells me to in order for me to have a reason to.
No, the reasons are based in your personal experiences and living a society that has been largely governed by Christian values. And you've received the endless benefits from that, as has the Western world. Yeah, there was some colonialism. Yeah, there were some people who got taken out along the way and were forced to condone to our way of beliefs. But overall, you've completely benefited from Christian values and morals. And that is paved the way so you can have.
Why
the beliefs-
ought I follow something just because it was historically followed?
Because it worked. It got you here where you are
Why
now.
ought I do what works?
Because you creating something last minute from a collection of different philosophers and different scientists who have who can't come together in any way, shape, or form to form any moral or ethics for society. So everything that
Why
you
ought
believe
I
is
not do that? If you're remember, you're the one who's supposed to have the objective ethics. Like you're supposed to have the objective ought. So why ought I do that? Everyone ought do this thing is what you're claiming if it's objective. So why ought I?
to create quality of life. Then
Let's say I
then
don't
I'm
care
arguing
about quality
that the
of life.
belief in it.
Why ought I do that?
Why should you care about quality of life?
Yeah, let's say I don't care about quality of life. Why ought
Let's
I
say
listen to
you're an
God?
evolutionist and you believe you're an animal. Like the minute an animal doesn't care about quality of life, he doesn't even go and catch food. He doesn't even hunt. He doesn't eat. So you're saying like,
What if I don't care about other people's quality of life? Or like, what if I don't even care about my own
even
quality
you
of life?
personally, even you, if you don't care about your own quality of life, then I don't know why you'd have an argument.
Sure. Okay, then you agree then that you have to subjectively decide to care about things like quality of life in order for it to be true that you ought do what God says. So it's all subjective in your view.
I don't know if
The
I can
ultimate
say that.
authority that it comes back to is yourself, is what it sounds like you're saying.
I think that's a really black and white way to view it. I think study, and you would also agree, education and bringing in beliefs into your system to have an overall opinion. But if you're talking about things that go beyond what you objectively or subjectively, believe every day, which can turn and change, the wonderful thing about religion and God is that it doesn't change, even if some things are not agreed with. So without any society being largely Christian or religious, there's ultimately no direction. And that's where you have someone like Maoist China getting up there, and you have people at the helm who do destructively evil things. And so,
or like Adolf Hitler. What religion was he again? Or like Mussolini. Which one did he follow?
Yeah, I don't believe that they're real Christians, but
at
the end of the day,
yeah, of course.
I know that's a cop out. I know you're going to say that's a cop out, So, but hey, I wish I could face something here.
But so now that we've established that your ethics are subjective, how about I give you an argument for why atheist ethics are objective?
I would love to hear that. I used to read a lot of books on that. I used to be an atheist. I would love to hear that.
Sure,
again.
yeah. I'm an agent. What that means is that I take actions to achieve goals. I take intentional actions. But in order to take any action to achieve any goal, I would need the freedom and well-being required to achieve that goal. If something's required for my goals, then I have a reason to have that thing. That is to say that you ought to have it. If you have a reason to have that thing, well, an ought is just saying that you have totality reason to do something or have something. So everyone's committed to saying that they ought to have the freedom and well-being to achieve their goals. But if I ought to have it, you ought not interfere with it. And if you ought not interfere with it, well, then everybody. So if you ought not interfere with it, then I have a right to it. And if I have a right to it on the basis of my agency, then all agents must have a right to freedom and well-being. Therefore, everybody has a right to freedom and well-being. And anybody who disagrees with that is wrong. There's a contradiction in their worldview.
Yeah, I would think that makes ultimate sense, but without something specific regarding morals and ethics to cling to.
That was specific.
I don't think that there was nothing morally or ethic there. You were just like, I want to do what I want to do, and I should be free to do it. And because I'm free to do it, I'm going to do it. That's all I heard.
Consistency requires that everybody has this right. That's ethical.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so even in the Middle Ages, when people like in all these, you mentioned all these other cultures where societies were very oppressive in the worldview due to the church and due to their perspective of that. Well, just like your perspective of all your philosophical beliefs can change over time due to your honest perspective of the literature and which part you want to read and how that affects you is totally interpretable. So I would argue that your collective philosophy and the Bible have just as much to offer in different ways. But you have to look at different parts of them, and you're going to have different perspectives on them. So I don't believe believing in a God means people can't have complete agency. What I believe, and I would argue that complete agency is worthless without some real morals and ethics to go by.
Yeah, and I have those, right? I mean, you're the one that has the subjective ethics. I have the objective ethics. So, I mean, it kind of sounds like this is an argument against yourself, right? Just saying like people disagree with you. Well, they're wrong, right? There's a contradiction on their view. There's not a contradiction on my view.
See, I don't understand what you're saying. Could you repeat that?
Yeah. You have subjective ethics because if I don't subjectively decide to listen to God, then I don't have a reason to necessarily. You need to say, well, I want to listen to God, or I want these other things in order for you to have a reason to do these things. However, on my view, everybody's committed to saying that they ought to have the right to freedom and well-being just by being an agent. And in order to remain logically consistent, in order to avoid a contradiction, they would need to say that all agents therefore have freedom and well-being, a right to it.
That's just an empty debate point. And in order to be correct, for me, it doesn't have any real meaning in terms of how you apply it to the world and how we live every day. Like creating an unbeatable debate point. Like
I think that our nation was founded on liberal values like the ones that I just espoused. The notion of like freedom and well-being, that everybody has like a right to pursue happiness,
Okay,
to
yeah,
the extent that it doesn't interfere with other people. Like I think that's kind of like the foundation.
That's what
That's
gangsters
not what
think. That's like,
pedophiles think.
yeah,
Pedophiles
no, they
deprive
literally think they
people
have
of pedophiles
well, no,
deprive
they have
people
no
of their
infringement
well-being.
upon their
And
agency.
by the
They're
way,
like,
you're not going to find any age of consent in the Bible.
yeah, no, and I'm not claiming like.
Why is pedophilia wrong in your view? Where in the
Okay,
Bible?
so
Like which scripture?
I thought this wasn't God. I thought this
You
was
took
God.
it there, right?
Real.
Like you took it to.
Okay, I'll take it there for the sake of entertainment and for
Yeah, where in the Bible does it say, here's the age of consent?
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't know, and I don't claim to be,
So why is pedophilia wrong on your worldview?
why is pedophilia wrong in my worldview? I literally studied this in philosophy and debate class in college, and I can't even remember. I was forced to go to some website for NAMBLA, National Man-Boy Love Association, and write an ethics paper about it. And I honestly don't remember. I'm not here to debate you in a traditional expert debate sense. I just more in order wanted to talk to you.
But like,
about
okay,
your-
let's put the Bible aside. Why would you think it's wrong? I mean, the liberal has a great answer for this. It's wrong because it violates people's autonomy. The child has autonomy. They can't consent to this act. This is a violation of their autonomy.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm at work right now. I'm in a car.
Okay.
I think you totally won this, and I knew you would. I wanted to get on here to honestly have some of my beliefs challenged, and I really appreciated the candidness of the overall channel. There was a guy who came in who said he was struggling with his faith, and I thought that was pretty cool that he had a place to just go on there and talk about that in general, because he probably can't talk to anyone about it in his personal life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so hey, it was a great time. I got to go into a client's house right now. But,
Okay, for sure. Hey, well, I appreciate you coming on out. Thanks.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yep. Make sure you're double tapping on that screen, sharing it with your friends, and all that good stuff. Truth, thanks so much, Super Chat, for the Carl Fund. True. That would be so. Gosh, I can't stop thinking about how mortifying it would have been if Carl was right. Damn, he would have sniped my ass. Falconoff, thanks so much, Super Chat. Wasn't he supposed to be making his kids dinner, lying POS? He needs to get clean before he can make his kids dinner. No, sorry, I'm taking a 30-minute power shower. Joshua Cruz, thanks so much, Super Chat. If a community were threatening my kids, I certainly wouldn't continue to engage with and antagonize said community. I mean, well, here's the deal, is that if somebody from my community, if you come on my live and then somebody from my community goes and they DM you death threats or threaten to kill your kids, holy shit. And come to think of it, it doesn't even conceptually make sense that somebody would be threatening the life of his kids because he never talked about them previously. How would they know? Oh God, I don't know. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's bad. Like if somebody threatens their kids, then I'll ban those people. I'll block those people if somebody goes in and threatens your kids. If after you come on the panel, I'll get rid of them. That's bad. It's like a basic point, right? It's basic community management. I don't want those people in my community. What a fucking disaster. Don't watch me. Well, go watch I don't know the fuck. Go watch Q-Top. Real Marcus Holloway, thanks so much for Super Chat. If he provides evidence of threats and the rescued 5 dogs, I'll Venmo him $500. True. Herman Preet, thanks so much for Super Chat. It's less that Ian's community is 100% good, but rather that Carl is a bad faith POS. What a liar. Yeah, profoundly evil. Herman Preet, thanks so much for Super Chat. We sure Carl even has kids? Oh, damn. I think the banger question is what are their names? But then that's probably doxing. So I think it would be reasonable to say I don't want to tell you that. But man, that would be devastating. What's their favorite TV show? Helping MAGA deconstruct. Thanks so much, Super Chat. This call shows how idiocracy is becoming a reality. Yeah, it's pretty, I don't know, disappointing. Slow TDI, thanks so much, Super Chat. He could email them, but he's too drunk. Facts. Dr. Fudge, thanks so much, Super Chat. Adding to the Carl Reimbursement Fund if he does actually have evidence, but somehow I doubt he's getting that money. Well, it's going to a good place. I appreciate that. Sir James, thanks so much for the super chat. Had to feed his kids, but then is showering, lying 24/7. He said he was showering. He said in the beginning that he was showering. He said he needed to leave to shower. What are you talking about, feeding his kids? He said that he needed to shower. In fact, he doesn't have kids. Threatened it. No, he never said anyone threatened his kids. He didn't say that. He always said that he needed to leave to shower, and now he's back to shower. Grimlock, thanks so much for the hydration reminder. Like a Wild Wolf, thanks so much for super chat. Ian, after watching that entire call, I can't help but believe that man was actually mentally unwell rather than just an asshole. That is an interesting point. Here's what's definitely true. He could just be like a compulsive liar. I don't know what would possess somebody to be so horrific faith all the time. Birdkeeper Mikey, thanks so much for super chat. Thanks so much for the loot box. Appreciate that. Optimus Rhymes, thanks so much for super chat. Carl, that kills your argument. That's funny. Last man, thanks so much for super chat. Caller is so insufferable. Ian, have a great day. You fucking rule. I appreciate the $25 super chat. That's very, very kind. Very, very thoughtful. I wonder if he responded to my DM. He didn't. He blocked me. He blocked my alt. He blocked my alt. Inshallah, he'll delete his account. Skeptics and Scoundrels, thanks so much for the super chat. Can we call CPS on imaginary kids? Please take his imaginary friend away. There is Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Maybe that's where his kids would go. Uncle Zasta, thanks so much for the tier 1 subscription. Radio Calrissian, thanks so much for the gifted sub on Twitch. Appreciate you. TL Pineapple, thanks so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you. Big W, TL Pineapple. Buddhist doctrine rejects the idea of souls. The most important teaching to the Buddha is no self. Fuck, that's right. They probably would reject that, wouldn't they? Damn, they reject personal identity. Fuck. Is Buddhism materialist? I think they would have to be. Oh, wait, sorry. I moved past it too quick. The most important teaching of the Buddha is no self. Like Hume's argument, there is no self or soul. Reincarnation is just a chain of causes, not a soul moving on. Sure. Although you could be an atheist and believe in a soul. That is still like a coherent notion. Like Michael Humer, for example. Jugs Duns, thanks so much for super chat. Can you help me understand how your objective morality argument responds to parenthood? I have to limit my daughter's freedom to keep maintaining her well-being. Does one outweigh the other? I think those cases are complicated. I think that what the Gewirtz stuff establishes is specific rights that you're not supposed to violate in other people. I think that it's going to be necessary, but not sufficient for like the true moral system. So I think it's going to be like a component of it. I don't think it's the entirety of it. I think that virtue ethics considerations, I think that probably the accurate account of that is that you make your daughter an end in and of herself, that she is an end for you, to like her development is an end that you are pursuing. And that requires things like restrictions on freedom. And to the extent that it doesn't, you probably shouldn't be restricting your child's freedom. Like you should only be restricting your child's freedom in ways that are beneficial to them. So, you know, like maybe they shouldn't be free to fucking watch TV all day and not do homework. You know, maybe they shouldn't be free to, I don't know, stay up till like 3 a.m. each morning. You know, maybe they shouldn't be free to eat like candy all day. But those are all things that stem from like a place of you fundamentally valuing your daughter and valuing her development. Chris RPG, thanks so much for the super chat. Most atheist majority nations are doing amazing. That's true. Slow TDI, thanks so much for the super chat. What is the day of the Lord for $12,000? That's literally what you Christians will be kicking down doors. Grape and dashing babies, read your damn book. Yeah, he wasn't prepared for me to flip it on him, which is unfortunate because Christians like kind of should be. I'm the Big Cheese, thanks so much for the super chat. First and second commandment is clearly an argument that believing and praying to the wrong God is evil, which goes against religious freedom and is used today to justify war. Yeah, I mean, you just can't value a thing like freedom of religion and think that the only source of ethics is Christianity. I bet these people are Protestants too. You know, it's I think if you reject freedom of religion, there's going to be a bit more bit off than you're prepared for. Chris RPG, thanks so much for the super chat. U.S. killed, is that 100 million people? Looks to be 100 million people. Helping MAGA deconstruct, thanks so much for the super chat. Taiping Rebellion is the second deadliest war. It happened when Jesus' brother tried to conquer China to make Taipei the kingdom of heaven, or the heavenly kingdom. I read about that. It wasn't that there's like a group of like fucking Christians. I didn't realize that that's what was going on, is that there was like a group of Christians that were that thought like the second coming of Jesus was there in China. And then that's what led to this like ultra deadly rebellion. Grimmy, thanks so much for the super chat. An authority that can be held accountable for transgressions does not deserve to hold said authority. Authority does not equate immunity. I'm the Big Cheese, thanks so much for the super chat. Ironically, the apologists for Mao and Stalin used the same scripts and playbooks as the Christians in West for all the atrocities committed in the past. True. D20, thanks so much for the corgi, appreciate it. Godless Engineer, thanks so much for the, it's great to see you. Hey, Godless Engineer. Thanks so much for the super chat. Been doing this for 14 years and have had various forms of threat thrown in my direction. I condemn the message, but Carl needs to grow thicker skin. Yeah, well, I don't know. I think that there's like types of bullying that I think are acceptable. If you as a grown fucking adult are so pathetic that you feel the need to lie about communities sending death threats to your kids, I think you probably do deserve like a good deal of bullying for being a pathetic worm fuck. I don't know. That's just my take. It's just my take. Oh, I didn't know that one pulled up. But yeah, I appreciate it. Big W, Godless Engineer. You guys should all be checking his content out. Narcissa, thanks so much for the $20 super chat. Caller just came out and told us he doesn't know why Adobe format files are wrong. Facts. I don't know. For like a lot of these things, you know, if you ask somebody, why is it wrong to fuck your cousin? It's not going to be a biblical explanation, that's for sure. There's zero prohibitions on that in the Bible. You know, it's going to be like pure secular explanations. Good luck. Incest is prohibited? Not cousins. Brother and sister is, but not cousins. Anyway, fuck, I really want to debate so many of you. But I do need to leave because it's Molly's birthday. Let's do one last happy birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Molly. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Ian, everyone.
Yep.
Ian, really quick, can we announce that new thing?
I think so. Yeah. The Pangburn tour. we're going to the West Coast as well. You know, we have our New York dates. We're going to be doing the in-person Unapologetic in New York. That was, what is that? Fucking like October. What's the date?
10th.
October 10th. That one's going to be October 10th in New York at Bronxlandia. It's available on the Pangburn website. We're also doing a show in San Francisco and then Los Angeles on the following day. I think those dates for that are going to be November 13th and November 14th. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So San Francisco on November 13th, Los Angeles on November 14th. The tickets for that one will be available shortly. It's gonna be so exciting to come and meet you. I hope everybody else. I hope I'm able to meet all of you in chat. There's going to be
2 more supers that came in also.
Oh, okay. Wait, one sec. I'm getting the video prepped for release.
Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't finish doing the stuff.
Oh wait, fuck. Should I not drop it?
No, I think you can.
Okay. Okay. Well.
It should be ready.
Fucking based. All right, let's read some super. Or wait, we have 2 more supers. Rara Speeda, thanks so much for super chat. Oh no, Carl has to change his name again because imaginary people are going to send imaginary death threats to his imaginary kids. True. I think death threats are a low bar, but honestly, I'm kind of wondering whether or not he actually got death threats. Like, I would typically believe anybody, because I've gotten tons of death threats. So I would typically believe anybody that says I've gotten death threats or that they've gotten death threats from being on like a TikTok live. I don't know. Like, I'm inclined to believe them. I don't know. I'm like wondering now. But I wouldn't make a bet with that because that's like plausible that, you know, those are things that people issue, things that people get. It's bad. Shouldn't do that. Don't fucking issue death threats on my behalf. Don't do that. You will get blocked. I will block you. Don't do that. But Suleiman, thanks so much for the $2 super chat. Buddhists are behaviorists. Oh, sure. That your identity just is your behaviors? Something like that? Okay. That makes sense. Oh, Molly, Grimlock wants to know if you have Cash App. Do you have Cash App?
Yeah, I'm gonna post it in.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a dumb
Discord.
question. Of course, you have
Okay.
Cash App. Yeah.
That's how you send me money, Ian.
Exactly. Yeah, I forgot. All right. I'm ending stream. Go check out the newest video. If I didn't get to you, I remember who you are. You'll be at the top of the queue next time. I'll remember you. Later.